Fat Freddy, man.
What's the matter with the fat man?
The dude ain't got your money. Well, he's been all stretched out, like he's coming some money or something.
That's his ass.
He's good for it. It's that bitch of his, that's the problem.
I got 50 men out on the street now. If they all get bitch troubles, I starve. Is that it? Is that what you're trying to tell me, dude?
Money machine. Break it down, can't stop, nigga, too hot, early morn. I'm at the rim shot, fool, I really be on my shit, fool shit, sketch it out and put it together, I really do this. Driving gloves, Louis Vuitton, my shoes is glued to the pedal, pressed to the metal, I'm moving. Jets in the house, bitch, you ain't help us moving. So why you got your hands out, not stupid? Had you played your role, you would've got your credit at the end of the movie. Listening to them hoes, you on Front Street, swimming in blood, so close, bitch in the shark weed. Ho, you lunch me, you thinking I'm something sweet. Got me confused with the cotton candy hues on my 83. Diamonds against my wood, lighting one up for Pimp C. Riding with no tent to let them hoes know this.
Smoke it.
Yeah. Money machine. Nigga, you can count on. Dollars pile up a Batmobile in my driveway, the skydiver, bringing more kush jet fuel to the
Hold on. Oh shit. They said the volume was super low. Hold on. Am I coming in clear now? Am I coming in clear now, Sammy? Let me know. I was muted the whole time. It's all good though. It's all good. Let's see. Did they kick me off YouTube? They probably kicked me off YouTube because of the music. They probably kicked me off YouTube because of the music. I don't care though. I'm playing my spitter shit. You feel me? So again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Hotep History Live. I am your host with the motherfucking most, President Hotep Doobs, representing Hotep Nation. One time for Hotep Nation, man. One time for Hotep Nation, man. Listen, y'all. I had an outstanding weekend, son. An outstanding weekend. Stupendous, magnificent, glorious, amazing, incredible weekend. Polying, you feel me? And fellowshipping with my fellow Hoteps. See, I know there's certain people that fuck with me that just think like Hotep is just in my name and shit like that. But like, nah, it's like a real thing. You feel me? It's a real thing. 5th annual HotepCon. We smoked that shit. Shout out to my brother Protocol. Before we even go any further, shout out to my brother Protocol, a.k.a. the motherfucking grill master. The motherfucking grill master. Chat, when I tell y'all that Protocol and Cannon put they motherfucking foot in the food. You hear me? Son, y'all already know I eat mostly fish. But the way Protocol had that lamb on the grill, chat, listen, couldn't resist. Could not resist. Had to try the lamb. Okay? Just a little lamb, like Mary. You know what I'm saying? Just a little lamb. Had to try it. I ain't do the chicken, but the chicken looks scrumptious. Okay? So shout out to Protocol and Cannon. Cannon came through with the crab. You feel me? He a big Baltimore nigga. So, you know, he had the blue crab. He had the crab going. You feel me? So we're going to start this off with just a recap of the weekend because I had such an amazing time. I did not sleep at all. I think for the entire weekend, I only slept about 6 hours. Legit. Only slept about 6 hours. So it started with my flight. Okay. So I take my flight left at like 5. I landed in Georgia. That's where it was at, Savannah. I landed in Savannah. I wanted to link with my brother Rashad, but Rashad busy, and he like mad hours away. I didn't even know that. I thought he was a little bit closer. So shout out to my brother Rashad. But I land at about, I'm gonna say like 9:30 or something like that. My brother Daniel, shout out to my brother Daniel. He picked me up from the airport. So we making our way to the hotel and all of that. Had the gas up and shit. We make it to the hotel and chat. This is why I do it. This is the reason why I'm president. I walked in and everybody in the hotel lobby was like, Doe, Prez, Doobs. All love. As soon as you walk in, it's all love. Hugs, daps, all of that. It was just all love off the rip. Everybody was already turning up. You feel me? Having a great time partying, you know, because people were asking me, you know, what do you guys do at HotepCon? Like, what do you guys do? And I'm just like, you know, when certain people ask me, I give them like a fucked up answer and shit like that. You feel me? I'm like, yeah, you know, we just read like old ancient Kemetic books. We just sit around and light incense and, you know, like that Drewski skit when he was like Abraham. Heem. Short for Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell them that we do that type of shit. You feel me? Just sit around and just drop a whole bunch of like lyrical miracle raps and shit like that the whole weekend. We talk about conspiracy theories. You know, the government is actually run by reptiles and shit like that. But in all honesty, it's literally just a weekend of fellowship. That's all it is. People coming together from all walks of life, all across the country, and converging on, you know, one place, you know, a hotel, and just literally enjoying each other's company, bouncing ideas, and being able to just have a good time with people who are like-minded. So, Boom, get into the hotel. All love. That first night, easily, we stayed up till like 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. I know I didn't even close my eyes until about like 4:30, 4:45. So the first night, chilling in the hotel lobby, everybody's trying to figure out what the move is. So, chat. We ended up going to a karaoke night. Oh my goodness. So, the bar was in walking distance from, let me stop chewing in y'all ear. The bar was in walking distance from the hotel. Okay? So, we mobbed, you feel me? The Hoteps mobbed the streets. We took over the street, walked to the bar. We get in there, and it's an Irish. We get there, and it's an Irish pub. Now, I'm letting y'all know right now, I thought we was going to like a black spot. Just being totally gangster with y'all. I thought we was about to go to some shit called like Brown Sugar or some shit like that. But we ended up going to the Irish pub. The Irish pub, what is it? McDonald's or McDonald, like however you pronounce that shit. You feel me? McDonoghue's or some shit like that. It's an Irish pub. And I think it's a chain because I've seen it in other places. So we go in there. As soon as we walk in, check the IDs and shit like that. As soon as we walk in, it's drunk white women singing. And they are singing their fucking hearts out. You know what I'm saying? All of the white classics, you know what I'm saying? I call them the cracker classics. All of that, they singing it. And so my man Patriot J, shout out to Patriot J. You feel me? He was in the building with us. He did a joint. My brother Tanah, shout out to my nigga Tanah, man. He did a joint. And it was just fun as hell. I'm not gonna hold you. We in there, I'm drinking, what was them shits called? Lucky Leprechauns. I'm drinking, taking shots and shit. It was amazing. I didn't sing. Just in case y'all were wondering, I did not sing. The list was too long. We talking to like 50 people. It was like a concert for real. Like motherfuckers had like their favorite songs that they wanted to sing. You feel me? And you're getting into all of the Nirvana. You feel me? Yo, they played the Celine Dion joint. They played the Celine Dion joint and was singing their motherfucking hearts out. You hear me? There's one dude, black dude with dreads. He went up there and sang the John Legend joint. Damn. What's the joint? Y'all know the joint too. I give you my all of me. That song, son, when I tell you this nigga damn near had panties thrown at him. Like he had the whole bar's attention. Like the entire bar was like, oh my God. He's hitting all of the notes, all of that shit. He was John Legend. For those 4 minutes, he was John Legend. You couldn't have told nobody else. He was going crazy. You're my muse, my rhythm and blues. Like he was going in, son. He was going in. So, it was dope. I had an amazing time. So that was night one. We went to the bar. So now, y'all know my name is Hotep Doobs, and it's Hotep Doobs for a reason. So I'm in the spot. Me and Tanah, we chilling, we talking and shit like that. And I was like, fuck it, we in the spot. So I get the twisting. You feel me? I just get the building spliff in the back of the bar. I'm not in the middle, I'm not on the stage, I'm just in the cut, building spliff. Just, you know what I'm saying? The bouncer nigga come through with the flashlight. He was like, oh, no weed in here, you gotta go, you gotta get out. No weed, you can't smoke weed in here. I'm like, yo, I'm not smoking, bro. I'm just rolling up. Like, let me live, bro. It's HotepCon. And I'm trying to keep it, I'm keeping it cordial, keeping it cool with him. He's like, nah, man, you got to go. You got to leave right now. You have to get out. Son kicked me out of the venue for building spliff, chat. He kicked me out of the venue for building spliff. And I'm like, come on, right? So I build the spliff because you already know I'm defiant. So I build the spliff, then I go outside, bun the spliff, and I'm out there, I'm kicking it, and now you got everybody on the sidewalk and shit like that. A bunch of people were like celebrating getting married. It was like 3 different sets of bride and grooms in that motherfucker that night. So I'm giving them congratulations and all this other shit. And so I'm out there, and motherfuckers is asking me to hit my spliff. Now, I'm going to let y'all know something. Just from me to you, y'all. I never pass. Never. I never do. I never will. You feel me? After a certain age, I want to say, you feel me? I want to say like early 20s, mid 20s, I completely just stopped passing weed. Like, why? And it's like, to me, it's like me passing you my cup. Would you drink out of the same cup of me as me? Like, it just don't make no sense. I think we all grown now. We make enough money now, so we don't have to be passing smoke, fam. I'm never, yo, if you're not my lady, yo, I'm not passing you a spliff. Not at all. I would much rather give you some bud so you can roll up yourself and you can smoke at your own pace, bro. Like, I am not about to be sharing a spliff with you, bro. That is out of the question. It's disgusting. And I think back to all of my teenage years where because this is back when I was smoking blunts and shit. Like, and it's like, dog, I'm sitting here rolling this shit up, passing it around the room. By the time it get back to me, the shit is a fucking fraction of what I fucking rolled up. And it's like, dog, it was cool back then because we was kids. You know, we cutting school and doing all of the things that teenagers do. You feel me? But now, son, we grown, fam. We pay taxes and shit. You know what I mean? Like, we got families and shit. We pay, like, come on, son. We got bills. We got bills. Ain't no way that you paying bills and you passing weed, bro. That's got to stop. That's got to stop. You feel me? And so when it comes down to, you know, the copious amounts of people that was outside of the bar, not Hotep people, but it was just like random white dudes being like, dude, can I tap that? Can I hit that? I'm like, first of all, pause. No, you cannot. But secondly, no, bro, I'm not passing you this. Absolutely not. First of all, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. Why would I do that, fam? So after I finish building spliff, after I finish smoking it, I go back into the bar, sneak right back in. You feel me? And of course, dude didn't at all recognize my face. None of that shit. I was in there. I walked past that man that kicked me out 1,000,000 times. And he let me, like, he didn't even recognize me. So I'm back at the bar. You feel me? Double shot of this. Motherfuckers, I'm president. I ain't trying to flex or nothing like that, y'all, but I'm really a somebody in Hotep Nation. Like, people, they love me. So they buying me drink. Oh, you got to take a shot with us, Prez. Come on. Like, and I'm like, yo, son, they feeding me drinks. Ironically, they're giving me joints. Like, in the same way that I would give bud instead of passing it, they're giving me pre-rolls and shit like that. So I got a pocket full of pre-rolls, double fisting drinks, pause, like, fam, all night. So around the 2 to 3 o'clock hour, you start to see people like filing out and, like, you know, people going back to the hotel and stuff like that. But see, me, when I'm on vacation, son, I'm on vacation. Now, there is going to come a time for rest. However, I choose not to. To be totally honest with you, I'm up, son. I'm up the whole time. So we leave the bar. Now we talking and walking in the street. And I was walking just fine, by the way. Like, I wasn't like blackout drunk or nothing like that. Like, I always know my limit. Know your limits, ladies and gentlemen. So we walking back to the hotel. We kicking it outside. Talking, drinking, smoking, all of that stuff. And I was just learning a lot of just lore. Like, people's lore and stuff like that. There was this older guy. I forget his name, but tall, big dude from Mississippi. He had brought this Mississippi bourbon. Chat, when I tell you this bourbon was pure fire water, fam. Pure fire water. You take a shot of that shit, your entire chest caves in, son. Like, it was crazy. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Look. So y'all know I'm not bullshitting. I know I showed it to y'all before, but look. Real talk. HotepCon. Real deal. Real deal. So I'm just learning about stuff. One of the things that I really enjoyed was how people were coming up to me and, one, sharing about, you know, just how much they appreciate the channel, how much they appreciate Hotep History and the history lessons and the history content that I post and stuff like that. That was one of the you know, highlights of it. But the second thing that I really love, and it may even trump that first one, is them sharing their own personal histories. You feel me? Like my grandfather was this, my aunt was the first this, and being able to just get all of that on the ground firsthand, Black American history. That was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And just like I'll be up here popping my shit about the ancestors, I was doing that at the cookout. So that's day 2. So that's day 1. So day 2 is the cookout. For those who are asking about the bourbon, it was called Old Soul. It was called Old Soul. You feel me? He wanted everybody to know it was Old Soul. You feel me? So yeah. And what's going on, Miss Lisa? Welcome. Let me just get some shout outs. The people is in the chat tonight. I already knew Vincent was coming through. You know what I'm waiting for. I got to work for it. I got to get my 2 bullseyes, Vin, before the end of the night. So I know Vincent was here. Shout out to King Chris coming from Canada. You feel me? Knuckle Brew. Who else we got? Because I got 2 chats going. Who else we got here? We got Natty Smurf. Shout out to Natty Smurf. We're going to get to you in just a second, bro. You were a highlight of the weekend, okay, for me. Natty Smurf, CW. We got Sammy in the building. Kentucky Ike. I met Kentucky Ike over the weekend. Shout out to him, a real one. Sammy, of course. Declassified FBI. Met him over the weekend as well. So a lot of the people at HotepCon are in the chat, okay? The Dizza 777. Let's see. My boy Rashad is in the building. So yeah, we in good company tonight. So day 2 was the main event, right? Day 2 was the main event. I didn't see Sunny the first night because by the time I got to the hotel, she was already, she went back to her room and all of that. So day 2, of course, I was excited to see Sunny. We get to the barbecue. Sunny, of course, anytime Sunny asks me to do her show, you know what I'm saying, Sunny's Corner, I'm on it. I never tell her no. She's always been a gem. She's put me on so many different platforms, you feel me? So she'll never get a no out of me unless it's an emergency. Like that's the good sis right there. So I was on Sunny's show on Saturday. We were talking about Charlie Kirk, of course. Conservative circles, that's the main buzz right now. That's the main buzz. So, her and I had the conversation about Charlie, him being this polarizing figure and the hypocrisy of conservatives surrounding Charlie's murder and Charlie's death. You know what I'm saying? And we had a great conversation about that. Sunny went on to finish her show. She did her show for, she does her show for a few hours. And apparently somebody called in to Sunny's show and got a little crazy over the phone over Charlie. And it just speaks to the whole issue that we were having as it pertains to Charlie Kirk's murder, right? We all, as far as like even killed sensible people or whatever, nobody is happy that he was murdered. You know what I'm saying? However, we're not going to deny his history. We're not going to deny the things that he said. We're not going to deny how he did sow division. And it's a huge problem in the conservative circles. And that's the reason why I love Sunny so much, is because she calls conservatives out. As a black Republican conservative woman, I rarely, she'll talk about leftists and stuff like that. But like, if we're talking out of a pie chart, 85% of the time, she's holding conservatives and Republicans accountable. Like, Sunny was the first one to tell me that Republicans are trash on their ground game, that you don't go to these different places that could, be flipped. And if you actually cared about the people that you're espousing, that you care about, we would see it materialize. But we don't. All you guys do is specifically for black Americans, right? Tell black Americans to get off the Democrat plantation and all of these different sound bites and talking points and shit like that. You're speaking, instead of speaking conversationally, you're speaking rhetorically. It's just nothing but rhetoric. It's nothing but just repeated, pre-recorded in their mind responses and stuff. That's the reason why even when it came down to Charlie Kirk's debating skills, You can tell that these are just pre-thought out answers, predetermined answers, and he's going to steer the debate to make sure that he can get those answers off. And so it wasn't, you can tell that a lot of it was manufactured. You can tell a lot of it just wasn't genuine. And that's the reason why, like, people like, me or Sonny or the Hoteps in general, while it's tragic that Charlie was murdered, we're not going to act like there aren't going to be people who are going to be happy about it. You don't have to be happy about it. You feel me? And you can think that that behavior is deplorable. However, my entire thing, because I haven't really talked about Charlie Kirk, at the top of, I think, the last show, I sent my condolences to his family and stuff like that, because that's a tragic loss for them. Absolutely. And again, I don't believe he deserved to be murdered off of the things that he said, even though I disagreed with like 80% of it, especially the delivery or how he said it. You feel me? So when it came down to it, I was like, okay, I know we're going to have to eventually talk about it. I went on Rashad's page, talked about it a little bit. I actually met Charlie Kirk a couple times, so it's not like he's out of my sphere of know-how and shit like that. I knew about him. And so my whole thing is, my biggest beef when it came to it was both sides of the spectrum trying to convince the other side of the spectrum to feel the way that they feel. So if you were somebody who absolutely hated Charlie Kirk and you are making memes and you're celebrating and all of that other stuff, that's totally fine. That's your right to do. Like, again, free speech is not for the speech that you agree with. It's for the speech that you disagree with. And those things are going to happen because we all know that they not only mocked George Floyd, they mocked Trayvon Martin, they mocked Ahmaud Arbery, they mocked Eric Garner. They, like, whenever, and I'm not just saying just conservatives, but like they were mocked. They were criminalized and demonized after they died. You feel me? So again, those people have the right to say that. So when it comes down to Charlie, yeah, those people have the right to say it. My issue is when they try to convince other people to dance on his grave. It's like, nah, or trying to argue with people because they're not dancing on his grave. And likewise, the inverse, where you have people who loved Charlie, who was mourning Charlie, who missed Charlie, who are going to, try to be like, how could you guys talk like this? How could you guys, like, you guys are evil, all this other stuff. And listen, one side says you're a coon, the other side says you're evil. You might both be right. However, people are allowed to say the things that they want. So when it comes down to me, I'm never going to convince you to love or hate Charlie. However you process the situation, however you look at him, however you feel about his rhetoric, you have every right to feel the way you feel. That's it. You feel me? So for me, I always keep it even when it comes to this type of stuff, fam. Like, I seen it go down. I seen the memes all, like, it's not even just George Floyd. Like, I've seen the memes for everybody. Everybody. So again, just, respect it. So Sonny, we had a great show on Sonny's Corner. And then I told y'all about the food, fam. Listen here, chat. Oh my God, I was so full. So they know that I really only eat fish. I'm pescatarian, whatever, right? So getting the presidential treatment, Hotep's bought me a whole slab of salmon just for the dome. You feel me? Just for me, personal salmon. You feel me? Presidential salmon. Amazing protocol. Oh my God, son. Dude is, and that's not even what he does, fam. Like, this is some shit that he just does on the humbug. This is a hobby of his. Like, he do this on the side. Like, he don't even do this professionally. He's just a motherfucker behind the grill. Like, he go crazy on the grill. So the food was delicious. They had this dope ass rum punch that they made. It was super good. You feel me? Strong and super good. And it's hard to find the levels when it comes to that. But my favorite part was just fellowship with the Hoteps. Talking to Strong Dad, learned so much about him, met his wife, talking to all of these different people and just tapping in with them and having these conversations. As the president, you got to work the room, you got to shake hands and kiss babies like presidents do. So I made my presidential address at the cookout, told everybody that, I thanked them for coming on out, Hotep to all my Hoteps, y'all know how I give it up. You feel me? And it was just an amazing time. So those conversations, I really hold those conversations in a special place in my heart. People being very open with me about their views and stuff like that. And one of the things that I find so interesting, and honestly, it kind of blows my mind because of how outspoken I am about my ideals, about my politics, about, you know, the way that I view the world and stuff like that, is that there are so many people who are not that outspoken, in fear of being castigated by their friends and family, in fear of, you know, losing their job, or in fear of like having their livelihoods turned upside down. And it feels great when people are walking up to you and being like, yo, dog, I'm so happy that I found your stream. I'm so happy that I found your page. I found your content, because these are the things that I've been believing my whole life. But when I start talking about it, people start calling me all these types of names, and they start, you know, like pretty much trying to prescribe or diagnose something that's like something wrong with me. And so when I read or I watch the things that you say, and I know it's backed up by scholarship, it's backed up by primary sources from the ancestors, it just gives them that level of affirmation and confirmation that they're not crazy. That's really what Hotep Nation is. It's like a place for all of the people, you feel me, can come together and being like, yo, I'm not crazy for believing what I believe. And don't get it fucked up. It's not like everybody in Hotep is just one homogenous group of people where we all think the same things. We have different ideals. I'm pretty sure that I've said something that flies in the face of what HJ says, and vice versa. You dig? And it's not about being an echo chamber. It's about having a chamber to where you can just be yourself. You feel me? There are more, it's gonna be more conservatives and stuff like that, but even in that conservatism, you'll have some liberal views. You feel me? Like, as y'all know, I'm Doobs, so of course I'm for the legalization of marijuana, for sure. However, I'm also a big 2A guy. I'm also a big gun guy, pro-gun like a motherfucker. So it's like, again, we treat people like they're human beings and not political robots, not pundits. You feel me? We're not over here being like, yeah, for the love of Trump. Like, we're not doing that at HotepCon. We pushing Hotep, nigga. We doing this. We flying the Hotep flag. You feel me? Hold on. Shout out to Cannon for these fucking towels, bro. Like, that's what we on. We on Hotep time. I tell people all of the time, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm Hotep. Like, I really mean that. Like, I really, really mean that. Like, that, I'm not over here saying that any one party is good or bad. I tell people that you need to use these political parties for your own self-interest. And we'll get into that later on in the stream. So, boom, the cookout, got with Unc, got with HJ, met HJ's family, his sons and daughter. Actually had a conversation with those young men. Very, very exceptional young men. HJ, you're doing an amazing job with those boys, man. Doing an amazing job. I was able to literally chop it up with them and just see, because, you know, they teenagers and stuff like that. So I was able to see how the youth, the young Hoteps, you know, process things. Very exceptionally bright young men. And I'm not even talking about like saying that because it's HJ's kids and stuff like that. I'm talking about for even average American standards, Hotep standards, these young men are extremely exceptional. And I'm proud of them. I told them that. Like, I'm super proud of y'all. I've heard them on HJ stream plenty of times. Okay? So those kids are going places. They are going places. And I really appreciate that I had the opportunity to talk to them and stuff like that. When it comes down to what I was saying, though, there are too many times where people are they cling to a particular ideology that's not really founded in fact. It's founded in feelings. It's founded in, this is how it should be. It's not founded in any type of realism. And I'm a realist. Okay? Like, I'm a realist. Like, when it comes down to like bad news, shoot me straight. Tell me the bad news. Like, don't try to sugarcoat it. Shoot me straight. That's just how I am with things. Because it's better to just get to the point. It's better to be objective. It's better just to, you know, be truthful and all of those things. And it does bother me that so many Black Americans, specifically Black Americans, feel uncomfortable telling the truth. That's a problem for me. Like, people being unwilling to tell the truth simply to stay in the social graces of people. And I'll never do that. I've been this rogue, renegade, independent type of dude my whole life. My whole life. I never, like, I love being within a crowd, but the crowd that I was always a part of were people or young men, if I was a teenager and stuff like that, or when it comes to Hotep, like, people that are like-minded. We don't have to agree on everything, but we're like-minded. And I was telling them at the cook, I was like, yo, listen, Hotep Nation is the epitome of finding your tribe. That's why we created Hotep Nation in the first place. Me, HJ, and Uncle on the Mount Rushmore of Hotepistan. And it's for a reason. The origin story of Hotep Nation was that individually, me, HJ, and Unc were talking the things that we were talking. So Unc, OG dude, he'd been a Republican pretty much his whole life. You feel me? So he already had these ideals. But now he's sharing it on the timeline. And of course, you coon this, you know what I'm saying, your Uncle Tom, all of those, insults and pejoratives were thrown our way for years. For years. Hotep ass nigga, Hotep ass nigga. So we looked around and was like, well, yeah. And then when you go even deeper, Hotep literally means peace, or to be at peace. It means satisfaction. It means to be well rested or at rest. It's literally the most peaceful word in the ancient Kemetic language. And you guys are using it as an insult. An ancient African word, you're using it as an insult. So it always just didn't make sense to us. So, you know what, like, hell yeah, we Hotep. And we've been flying the flag for, 11 years now? 11 years. So, again, when it comes down to people, I want y'all to know that this is a real thing. These are real people. You can, like, if you come to HotepCon, you're more than welcome. Buy yourself a ticket for 2026. You feel me? We're going to do this every year until we die. And even after that, it's going to be a HotepCon. You dig? You do not have to hide yourself from the world in order for you to be a part of it. There are people right now who think just like you. There are people right now who believe in some of the same things that you do. And the more or the longer that you hide yourself from the world, the more you're never going to actually live life. The more that you censor yourself, the more that you sit there and try to act like things are right when it's wrong, things are wrong when it's right, that's going to hinder you in your life. Because those people may be believing that, but you don't. You're different. And that's totally fine. It's dope when you're different. And that's the reason why I have like this callous over my feelings when it comes to people, calling me all types of names and shit like that. The latest thing that they say to me is that I need to read a book. They'll tell me to my face that I don't know history. Me, nigga. Like, they say I don't know history. You feel me? These people get their history from McGraw-Hill textbooks in Hollywood, but they're going to tell me that I don't know history. You feel me? And I tell them, like, yo, son, like, that doesn't bother me because I know I'm telling the truth. And when you're telling the truth, bro, you're going to have people trying to come at you. You're going to have people insulting you, fam. That's just what it is. You can't avoid it. And so it's better to do it as early as possible. I did it in my early 20s. I was doing it as a teenager, but when it comes down to this Hotep shit, I was doing it in my early 20s. I lost friends. When they started, like, when all of this stuff started happening with Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, and I'm sitting there calling out Black Lives Matter for the bullshit artists that they were, I lost literal friends, like friends that I kicked it with, friends that I said I love you to. Stop fucking with me because I was Hotep. That's going to come with it. And I still don't wish anything bad for them. I don't think they're bad people, but we're clearly not equally yoked to where we can maintain a friendship, because I'm not going to stop saying and doing the things that I say and do, and I don't expect you to. The problem is just like what I was talking about with the Charlie Kirk shit, is like, they don't want you to be you. They want you to be them. And that's never going to happen. I'm Hotep Doobs. I'm going to say and do what the fuck I want for my entire life. There are going to be certain things as far as discipline, you feel me, that I'll, keep to myself or whatever it is. But as far as my ideals, my core morals, values, and beliefs, you're going to know them. You're going to know them. You're going to know that I'm pro-nuclear family. You're going to know that I emphasize the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. You're going to know that I am a red-blooded American, proud Black American. And I don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. You're going to know that I don't overemphasize racism, discrimination, or oppression. You're going to know that I'm going to highlight the good, great, and excellent, not only of the present, but especially the ancestors, because y'all got them fucked up entirely. And we're going to get into that in just a second, but you're always going to know what you're getting from me, because I'm always going to shoot you straight. Always. I'm always going to keep it 100 with you. It's so much easier just to be yourself than trying to pretend to be somebody else. That's going to be the easiest thing that you should be able to do in your life, is just to be yourself. And if you believe that there are certain parts of yourself that you need to improve on, stop lying to yourself and saying that you don't need to improve on them, and actually improve on them. Be the best version of yourself. That's what it's all about. It's not about sitting there lying to yourself. And so many people lie to themselves. I'm talking about countless millions of people every day wake up and go to sleep lying to themselves. And I refuse. I refuse. Me being overweight, gots to lose the weight, period. That's all that means. Doesn't mean I'm a terrible person. It doesn't mean anything other than that I ate more than I burnt off. That's it. And I need to do the opposite. When I was low on cash, listen, you're broke. You got to make more money. When I was living in the trenches, you got to change your environment. These are just realities. Keep it real with yourself. If you don't keep it real with anybody else, then you have to keep it real with yourself. You should be your biggest critic. You should be able to know what the fuck is wrong with you and fix it. You need to know what's great about you and accentuate it. Period. Point blank, son. But you sitting there trying to fit in with the in crowd or fit in with these different groups and shit like that so you don't feel lonely? Dog, think about it. When you in them circles, are you really feeling the love? Every time these niggas say some dumbass shit, you gotta fucking hold it in and not tell them that they just said some dumbass shit in fear of not having that friend anymore, in fear of not having that wife or that husband or that boyfriend or girlfriend anymore. Like, that's how you want to live? Like, that's not the, I'm never living that way. I'm never living that way. You're going to know exactly where I stand with you. I have no problem telling motherfuckers the truth. It's the best thing. It's one of my qualities, I call it. It's like one of my attributes. And I'm going to keep it 100. Motherfuckers hop on this motherfucking internet and start creating like different personas and shit. Motherfuckers wanting to be these militant, black power ass niggas, and then when you see them, they got a white girlfriend. They white boys talk crazy to them, and they don't ever say nothing. You feel me? They really not like that for real. And you can ask anybody that met me over the weekend at HotepCon, do I sound or behave anything differently than what I'll be doing on these streams? You met them. Ask them about me. There's mad people in the chat right now. Follow them on other platforms and ask them like, yo, how was Hotep Doobs? How was he? Does he really live like that? Does he really talk like that? There was a time at the barbecue where I'm sitting there giving Hotep history lessons with my rum punch and a spliff in my hand. And I'm like, yeah, in 1954 and then in 1862 and all of that. Like, I really lived this history shit. I was doing research while at HotepCon. Like, I really studied the ancestors, fam. So when it come down and motherfucker walk up to me and be like, yo, so how do you feel about, the Civil Rights Act? Or how do you feel about the black codes or Jim Crow and all this other stuff? Like, you feel me? And I'm telling them, yo, based from my studies, this is how I'm viewing it. This is how I'm viewing it. This is what I came up with. This is my interpretation of the primary sources and what's being said. And we having a grand old time. And I'm dropping real life game via the ancestors. And motherfuckers is hugging and dapping me for that shit. You have no idea how many people you can inspire just by being yourself. You have no fucking idea how many people are literally waiting for you to jump off the porch finally and be yourself. You don't know how many people are waiting for you to start telling the truth. Not your truth, telling the truth. You know how empowered a lot of the people that listen to me are based upon the things that I say? That they're fucking elated that I say this shit on stream. They're elated that I say this shit on the timeline, and I'm just being myself. I say this shit to anybody that knows me. There's not a single person on earth that doesn't know I'm a history nerd, I'm a proud black American man, and I push Hotep. My mama know, my sister know, my cousins know, all of that. They know this is me. What Hov say? This is Jay every day. No days off. Ferris Bueller, nigga, like, no days off. I'm Hotep every day. This is really how I live. This is really who I am. I stand on all of the principles, morals, and beliefs that I have. And nothing about my life contradicts that. If I'm falling short on something, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to improve on it. If I'm wrong about something, I'm going to admit when I'm wrong and make sure that I make it right. It's simply just being a stand-up man. That's it. Actually adhering to your morals, actually adhering to your beliefs, and not having your morals and your beliefs be switched based upon what another motherfucker is doing. And that's the reason why I'm not going to dance on Charlie Kirk's grave. Not because, you feel me, of Charlie, or I have this large affinity for him. It's like, I don't do that. There's only one man on planet Earth that I've ever done that, and I haven't done it in some time, and that's William O'Neal, because he literally had a man killed. He literally got Fred Hampton killed. He drugged him. He gave the feds a map of Fred Hampton's crib. He infiltrated the Black Panther Party to dismantle it and destroy it. And you're not going to dismantle or destroy anything via the feds and not shed blood. He signed up for this. He wanted this. And I don't give a fuck about his guilt after he did it. I don't. But even in that, I've fallen back from celebrating his death and all of that other stuff. Because he hopped in traffic and he hopped on the highway and, you know, cars is whizzing and all of that other shit. He jumped in front of traffic and he killed himself. And for a while, when I first learned that story for some years, I was like, man, fuck William O'Neal. Rest in piss, William O'Neal, all types of shit. You feel me? But now that I'm much older, I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year. I'm not going to do that. I still don't fuck with him. And there's no about of nothing that's going to ever make me fuck with him. But I don't need to dance on his grave. So if you're the type of person to dance on graves, yo, son, I'm never going to do it. But yo, more power to you. Because I seen this, like I said, I seen the same thing when it came down to Kevin Samuels. I seen the same thing when it came down to all these vaccinated freaks talking about how unvaccinated people need to die. They called it the Herman Cain Award. Literally celebrating people dying because they didn't get vaccinated. They didn't get the jab. I seen it. When people show you their morals and where they stand, yo, believe them. Believe them, son. You have to believe them. People can change and all the other stuff, but that's on them. Can't change them. Instead of sitting there trying to convince a bunch of motherfuckers to believe, you know, things like you believe, just find another motherfucker that actually does it. And that's Hotep Nation. That's Hotep Nation for me. People can come to HotepCon and be themselves. Point blank, period. You don't got to put on a front. You don't have to behave a particular way to be accepted by us. All you got to do is be real. Be real. We not over here, if you was a liberal, being like, oh, since you're a liberal, you can't be Hotep. Like, that shit is goofy. That's some goofy ass shit. Like, that's not how we rocking. Because honestly, how you vote really is non-consequential to me. That's your vote. Because you're not gonna change the way I vote. Again, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I am a Hotep American. Period. I am a black Hotep American. And shout out to all my white Hoteps. Shout out to all my Hispanic Hoteps, my Asian Hoteps, my mixed Hoteps, all of that. That was another thing that people were shocked by. It was like, yo, you got white people at your events? Like, yeah, we got white Hoteps. Yeah, we got Hispanic Hoteps. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? We absolutely do. We absolutely do. Loud and proud. I rock with my white Hotep. Shout out to Taylor. He couldn't make it this year. He had a newborn. Beautiful baby. You feel me? White Hotep. Brody, white Hotep. Absolutely. Those is my guys. Those are my guys. They Hotep. For real, for real. So, like, when it comes down to this stuff, y'all, find your tribe. It may not be Hotep Nation. That's fine. That's totally fine. But find yours. Stop trying to convince other motherfuckers to think like you when there's millions of people on this earth. Excuse me, millions of people in this country, but billions of people on this earth. Trust and believe you don't got to be pulling teeth to try to convince another motherfucker to think like you and all that other shit. You don't have to do that shit. Just be yourself. And the people that gravitate towards you based upon you being yourself, that's your tribe. That's your tribe. Those people that fuck with everything that you be putting out there, fuck with your content, liking and subscribing and fucking with your shit. That's your core audience, fam. Rock with them. That's the reason why I shout out the Vincents and the Sammys and the Scruggs and, the day ones that was fucking with Hotep Live when my camera was blurry, my fucking streams was going out because the fucking laptop is far away from the modem. They tapped back in with me every motherfucking day that I was streaming. Every week I can count on them. I know Sammy gonna pull up. I know Vincent gonna pull up. I know Scruggs is gonna pull up. I know Crystal is gonna pull up. Like, I know that. Because they rock with it, on a real level. And that's all you gotta do, man. Find your motherfucking tribe. So the cookout was amazing. The food was amazing. We had a comedy hour. We had 3 comedians do their stand-up. I think they did like 15-minute sets each or something like that. Like 20 minutes 20-minute sets each. And they did their thing. It was 3 of them. I'll say this. I was a big fan of 2. Wasn't the biggest fan of the 3rd, but more power to them. I ain't gonna put them on blast or whatever. It's no disrespect at all. It's just, certain people's comedy style ain't for everybody. But I will say the comedians that I did enjoy, they knew directly from me, that I enjoyed them. So it's more about telling people what you like instead of telling people what you don't like in that, because I appreciate them from coming out, working their material with us. With the 3rd person, it just may not just been the material for me. That's it. People were laughing at them. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't, my type of comedy. But they did their thing. We had a great time. Patriot J previewed some music from his upcoming album. Can't wait to hear the whole joint. His pops is like a legendary electric guitar player. So he did collaborations with his pops on the album. So that was super dope, being able to hear that. And then Protocol, also not only a fucking grill master, but a DJ extraordinaire. So he had all of the tunes, you feel me? The late 90s to the 2000s tunes, because we're an older bunch, pretty much. I think like the median age maybe like 38 or something like that when it comes to HotepCon. Uncle Hotep, old ass, bringing that average all the way up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So the comedy set was super dope, or the comedy hour was super dope. Then the music was rocking, and after the music started rocking, now it's just food and drinks. They had this fire ass banana pudding, delicious. I was eating that shit all weekend. I almost flew back home with some. You feel me? What else we do? So after we got up out of there, Saturday was the fight night. So we was in between the lobby and outside, like the outside lounge area and stuff like that, watching the fight. During the fight, I'm having conversations. Because you could pretty much, watch the fight on mute technically. You know what I'm saying? So we watching the fight, and anytime something crazy happened where, Crawford, Duff, Canelo out or something, we in the middle of a conversation and be like, oh, and then go back to the conversation. Me and Protocol had a dope conversation. Me and Natty Smurf had an amazing conversation. And I know you watching, Natty. I want to tell you, man, be encouraged, bro. Be encouraged. Everything that I told you that night, I 100% meant, okay? It was an amazing conversation. I appreciate you and all of the hospitality that you showed me over the weekend. Very genuine brother, and I appreciate you, and I'm glad to have you within the ranks of Hotep. For sure. Stick around, stay close. We got you. You feel me? You're a very dope dude, yo. I appreciate just how genuine you were, how truthful you were with me, and you're going places, bro. You're going places, and I'm proud of you. You know, I want to tell y'all, you know, Natty Smurf is an ill dude. So I want to say that to you in private and in public. Let you know, man, you good. You part of the tribe. Protocol, me and Protocol had dope conversations. So I was over there thinking about, like, you know, he asked me, he's like, yo, so what's Monday's stream going to be about? And I was telling him, like, you know, I'm going to do a little bit of a recap of HotepCon and stuff like that. And then, you know, try to think of some other things. He was like, well, HotepCon is Hotep history. And I was like, you fucking right it is. You fucking right it is. This is a historic event in Hotepistan. That's a fact. It didn't even, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, chat. Like, it didn't connect with me. It didn't connect to me until he said it like that. So I was like, yeah, nigga, I need your number. Cause Protocol, old Southern nigga. You feel me? And old Southern niggas be having that sage wisdom. He be having that life-saving wisdom. That shit that really, like, light a fire under your ass. Like, that really put the battery in your back. And Protocol was dropping so many gems in that conversation, yo. Such an ill dude. So, I will tell y'all, one of the things that I loved about going to Savannah was driving past all of the magnolia trees. Now, when you read, you know, the primary sources that I read, and you read things from the ancestors directly, you'll know that they're very descriptive in their writings. 19th century especially. 20th century too, but 19th century Black American writers were extremely, you know, illustrative when they spoke. They told you how warm it was outside, the breeze. They described the scene and described the setting so vividly that you can picture it in your mind. And magnolia trees come up a lot. Palm trees come up a lot, and I'm in Savannah, Georgia, surrounded by both. And so I'm driving past these magnolia trees, and if you don't know what a magnolia tree is, we can pull that up real quick. You feel me? If you don't know, this is not the same ones, and I'm not about to do this because I'm on a roll, and it may not. I could be getting those tree names wrong, but no, I'm not tripping. Yeah, it wasn't these. It was the ones that hang down and shit like that, like the ones after they dry out and stuff like that, they hang real low on the tree and stuff like that. So it may not be magnolia trees. It could be something else. But I know there are different types of magnolia trees. So, let's see. We can click Southern magnolia tree. But yeah, so driving past those trees, they describe these trees in the books really well. Is it one of these? I think it might be these. Y'all help me out in the chat. If y'all was at HotepCon and y'all know about trees, tell me the type of tree that I'm talking about. Y'all was there. Because it may not be a magnolia tree. But it's the trees that have those, like, the long, like, it's almost like a fucking weeping willow type tree. Is it a weeping willow? Let's see. But, yeah, so the trees were very, it stuck out to me. It stuck out to me so much, and I appreciated just the scenery, because when you go to these different places, there's so much history. There's so much history attached to these places. Hundreds of years, no matter what state you from, hundreds of years of history. And if you're talking about the South, there's a lot of Black history there. One of the things that I plan on doing is traveling all across the country and going to different states, you know, and learning about that specific state or that specific city's Black American history. That's going to be one of the things that you guys as Patreon subscribers, because didn't do any promo for the first hour. So, patreon.com/Hotep History. Make sure you're following me on all of the things here. Patreon, Kick, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure you are retweeting, okay? Make sure you are retweeting all links. Go to my pinned tweet and retweet that right now. Go to my latest tweet and retweet that now. Let the people know that we are in here. We've been here for an hour. So they are magnolia trees. All right, cool. So the magnolia trees were very they talk about them a lot in the books. I just want to make sure that I was getting the trees right in my head. You feel me? So yeah, that was super dope for me to see, because I'm from New York. You know, it's all, you know, pine trees and oak trees and stuff like that. That's up north, and so down south you get to see a lot of the history in the environment, like in the nature of the South. So that was super dope. So overall, chat, like, I definitely cordially invite you guys to come out next year. I don't know where we're going to be next year. I don't know what city we're going to, but I know it's going to be super dope. And if you are interested in, you know, learning more about Hotep, being able to fellowship with Hotep, I 100% encourage you guys to come on out to HotepCon. Come on and meet me, HJ, Uncle Hotep, and all of the other Hoteps that come out. You're going to have a great time. There's nobody in the history of HotepCon who went to HotepCon and said they were bored, went to HotepCon and said it was whack, went to HotepCon and say they didn't have a great time. You're guaranteed to have a great time. Okay? That's my presidential guarantee to all of you. So, that was HotepCon. Okay? So I hope you guys, you know, come on out. Now, chat, we did the recap. Now it's time for the rants. So, let's get right fucking to it. Okay? Let's get right. As y'all can see, look, mentions is still going. Motherfuckers are still mad. Let's go to the bookmarks. And I love that when you get a blue check and shit, now you have like folders you can hold shit in. So this is what went viral, man. This shit right here. So let's watch the shit. So that's it. 20 seconds. 20 seconds of two people, white dude and a black dude, traveling back to the 1930s, and it's just more about aesthetics, right? The clothes, the fucking knickerbockers and shit, the hairstyles and all of the other shit. And then you have people in the comments being like, "Oh, this is fucking impossible. This wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have been able to have been friends in the 1930s." You had other motherfuckers putting like slavery memes and slavery gifs and shit in the chat. It's like the 1930s? It's not slavery. It's not, like, what are you talking about? But anyway, as you can see, it's gone viral. 3 million views, 4,000 likes, almost 500 retweets, and almost 200 replies. So, y'all know me. Y'all know how I give it up. So, is my tweet gonna show up first due to the algorithms? Oh, no. So, we just go to my profile. I'm gonna tell you what I said. Because it was just annoying. So this is what I said. I said, lots of weird comments from people who clearly don't know or study history. Y'all get y'all history from white textbooks and movies, so I'm not surprised. Don't know if you know, but black and white men were able to be friends in the 1930s, fam. And boy, did these motherfucking people have the audacity and the nerve, okay? They took every opportunity to talk that bullshit in my mentions, and they're currently still going. So, because I speak the way I speak, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Now, yes, you can infer, you can interpret, you can extrapolate some of the things that I say and give it color, give it more context and stuff like that. Not mad at that. However, to misconstrue what the fuck I just said is a pet peeve of mine. Like, that shit gets on my nerves. So when it comes down to this shit, nowhere in this tweet chat did I say there wasn't racism. Nowhere in this fucking tweet did I say there weren't laws, racist laws. Nowhere in this fucking tweet did I say anything other than black and white men were able to be friends in the 1930s. These motherfuckers was saying, yeah, but they wouldn't be able to enjoy the same things. The black man couldn't do this and he couldn't do that. He wasn't allowed in all of these different places and all this other shit. I'm like, yo, do y'all honestly fucking think that these things are going to be applying to 100% of black people, especially when we know in this country money talks, especially when we know in this country that motherfuckers are dealing with racism right now. You got white friends, nigga. You got white. This is still racism going on every day. Racism is never going any fucking where. So please tell me, how is it okay or logical for you motherfuckers to have your white ass friends, but the ancestors couldn't on their own volition? And the shit is so fucking funny to me is because when it comes down to motherfuckers speaking about segregation and shit like that, y'all motherfuckers be thinking the ancestors was sitting there fucking pouting and crying about that shit. The ancestors, listen, the ancestors wanted desegregation. They did not give a fuck about integration. Those are two different things. Desegregating means that they have the ability to go to places that they weren't allowed to go to, even though all of this shit is unconstitutional anyway. And that's the reason why I look at this shit. If the shit is not in the Constitution, it's motherfucking garbage. It's fucking bullshit. However, since these shits are going to be enforced by different states and shit like that, you gotta deal with it. You got to handle it. You dig? They just wanted to make sure they weren't going to be criminalized by going into a fucking, if I'm driving down the road and I got to take a fucking piss, I want to be able to go to this random place to be able to take a piss and not have to worry about me getting arrested for it. But they were not falling over themselves trying to get into white spaces. Some were, but overall, black Americans didn't give a fuck about that shit. They loved their own spaces, nigga. They loved the fact that they had their own country clubs, their own golf courses, their own resorts, their own restaurants, their own schools, their own financial institutions. That's what the fuck they were there for. I keep trying to tell you niggas that the ancestors did not fuck with the federal government. They did not fuck with the federal government. They wanted the federal government to stay the far fuck away from them as much as possible. Don't infringe on my fucking rights as an American and get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of the way. That was the whole fucking point. Y'all motherfuckers thinking that the ancestors was thinking like you're coon asses. See, y'all the real coons. I want you niggas to know that shit. I want you motherfuckers to hear me and hear me good. You are the actual coons. You motherfuckers that walk around feeling racially inferior. You the ones that walk around with low racial self-esteem. You are the ones that are fucking pitying your fucking ancestors. You, the ones who don't have a motherfucking backbone. The ones whose morals, values, and beliefs sway with the fucking wind. You are the fucking coons. Dare I say, you are the white supremacists. I told you niggas that before on another stream. If the things you do, say, believe are hurting black people, you're a fucking coon. You can't show me one thing that President Hotep Doobs has ever done, said, or believed that harms black Americans en masse. It might hurt your fucking feelings because you a bitch, but that's not the same. You motherfuckers cheer on black American destruction. You motherfuckers cheer on your own subjugation because it makes you feel authentically black, unapologetically black. You niggas are bums. You're fucking coons to me. You're half a black to me. You barely black American to me. You niggas is not authentic at all, actually. You're the most artificial version of a black American to me. You're the fakest black Americans I've ever seen in my motherfucking life. I've never seen black Americans think like this, move like this. When I was growing up, nah, it was way more pride in our history. It was way more pride in our lineage. It was way more pride in where the fuck we come from. You niggas be trying to have hashtag Thanksgiving clapback so you can say some nasty shit to your granny. She the whole reason you here. He the whole reason you fucking even breathing. He's the only reason you are drawing breath on earth. But you got some fuck shit to say about him because you don't agree with his politics. You're a fucking coon. You choosing your white liberal friends over your blood relatives over some arbitrary shit like politics. You're a fucking coon. You're forsaking your own community where you come from in the name of your so-called ideals. You're a fucking coon. You're a black white supremacist if I've ever seen one. You automatically assign inferiority to yourselves, your people, and your ancestors, and you think that you pro-black? You are the most anti-black black people I've ever seen. You motherfuckers are a disgrace. None of you motherfuckers should be walking around telling people that you're unapologetically black. You're unapologetically a fucking coon. That's exactly what you are. I'm here to tell you that. I get to talking about how triumphant, how excellent, how good and great the ancestors was. And here y'all coon asses coming, sounding like the Klan, telling me how fucked up it was for the ancestors. But you here. Every last single thing that you motherfuckers enjoy as a right in this country came directly from the ancestors. You should be paying homage more than I do. There shouldn't be a day that goes by that you don't think your granny, your great granny, your great 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 granny. Without them, you wouldn't be here, nigga. Hear me. So when I say some shit like, yo, black and white men were able to be friends in the 1930s, all you coon ass niggas heard was white man. That's all you niggas heard. You took all of the agency and autonomy from your ancestors immediately because there's Jim Crow laws, because there's black codes, because there's racist white people that exist. There's racist white people that exist today. And that's the reason why you hoe ass niggas ain't getting ahead, and it ain't the reason why you motherfuckers ain't building, is because you so worried about the white man. I'm worried about the black man. I'm worried about the black woman. I'm worried about the black babies. You niggas is sitting there dead focused on the white man. Y'all niggas know the white man frontwards and backwards. You know the white man like the back of your motherfucking hand. You're obsessed. You're absolutely obsessed. Do you honestly think that 100% of black people just was sitting there worried about the white man all day? In the 19th century, early 20th century? Or did they get their asses up, go to work, build homes, build towns, build wealth, build communities? What the fuck do you think was on the top of their mind when they woke up on a random Monday in 1932? How a cracker feel about them? But look at you, in 2025, that's what's at the top of your motherfucking mind all day, every day. The white man ain't gonna let me. White supremacy this and white supremacy that. You sound like a hoe. You sound like a hoe. Imagine you being in a foxhole with a motherfucker like that. In the middle of battle. This motherfucker like, yo, the enemy got guns. Yo, the enemy's got explosives. The enemy's got this. They ain't gonna let us win. We at war, pussy. What is you talking about? You think we need to hear that while we behind enemy lines? You think we need to hear that when it's time to build some shit? You think that's what the ancestors were sitting around and just complaining about crackers all day? Are you high? You have to be on cocaine. You have to be on cocaine. For you niggas to think that the ancestors were sitting there worried about the white man all day. Like, are you insane? So let me put something in perspective for you niggas. Y'all talk about the lynchings, right? The gruesome lynchings. And you already know, I ain't about to explain to you. If you think that I'm pro lynchings, fuck you. But all of the gruesome photos and shit like that, I want you niggas to know that we, black Americans today, deal with more death, homicidal deaths of black Americans than all of the lynchings combined. All of the lynchings combined, nigga. All of them. But not only is the white man's ice coded to you niggas, the white man's gun is hotter. The white man's rope is tighter. The white man's hate is harsher. That's what y'all do. We can sit there and watch dozens and dozens of black boys, black girls, black men and women literally fall at the hand of other black boys, girls, men and women. But because you hold the white man in such a high fucking regard, you accept that. You accept your own self-genocide year in and year out. Tens of thousands of people no longer breathing on this motherfucking earth. And then when you hear me say this shit, you immediately think that I'm cooning because I'm worried about black lives. Y'all sat there and chanted that shit for 10 years. And not one piece of our murder rate really went down. Real talk. Like, y'all niggas are so worried about the white man, y'all would just ignore the fucked up shit we got going on. And don't even highlight all of the great shit, because don't let King Randall say some shit. Don't let Maj Toure say some shit. Men who were literally building institutions in their community. Don't let Bees say something. She had a whole conference over the weekend, HotepCon. Let Bees say some shit. And now all of a sudden she all types of coons and all this other shit when she's literally enriching the lives of black Americans every fucking day in this country. Getting ridiculed, getting insulted, getting talked down to by motherfuckers who haven't achieved a fucking fraction of what she's achieved. How many motherfucking kids have you mentored? How many motherfucking kids are you feeding? Are you clothing? Are you keeping safe? What the fuck do you do for you to even feel so emboldened to have these strong ass critiques? You motherfuckers don't do shit all day and got everything to say. And so again, when I sit here and say I'm focusing on the fucking murders, my brother Rashid in Brooklyn, he has the Bushwick Safety Zone and Education Center. I'll be teaching there. He has a program where young kids, young adults can come to him. If they find or have an illegal firearm, bring it to them. Bring it to his organization, and they will be able to get a full ride in college. That's what I'm talking about, nigga. Because people who are actually community organizers, the people who are actually building institutions, the people who actually give a fuck about the community, the last thing that you're going to hear about them speaking on is the white man. They're going to be talking about the community because they're knee deep in the shit. And they know ain't no cracker walking around Bushwick shooting niggas. They know it's not a bunch of people in Albany, a bunch of crackers in Albany fucking them over and not emphasizing education in black American homes. They know that when it comes down to the literacy rates and the 85% of our babies not being able to read or do math at grade level, they know the babies are the fucking main focus of that. And we need to raise their literacy rates. We need to raise their math skills. That's more fucking important. But because you niggas love white people so much, you love the white man so fucking much, you done held this nigga to the highest regard, you don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Because what you want for real is just for white people to trade places with you. And I don't even think you know what that actually looks like, motherfucker. Because you worrying about, you know what, like you worried about the best or the richest or the most privileged and all the other shit. I'm here to tell you niggas, white privilege ain't nothing but white people giving other white people the benefit of the doubt. White privilege is only white people giving other white people the benefit of the doubt. That is it. Giving them a shot, giving them a job, believing them at face value, giving them a chance. Yeah, he's a good kid, man. We slap on the wrist. Just giving them the benefit of the doubt. Y'all want to trade places with white people. Y'all want to be white. Be honest. Just keep it gangster. Be like, yo, I want to be white. I see that shit that they got over there. I want that shit. I want that shit. Instead of building it up for my fucking self, instead of me taking the 10 years that it's going to take for me to build wealth to get my family in a particular situation so we're financially independent and we're able to do what we need to do and grow and develop and all that other shit. No, I just want what you have that you've already developed for yourself. That's what the fuck you want. It's the same thing that I saw 10 years ago when the white feminists was sitting there talking about the Andrew Tates and shit of the world. Like that's most men. You just want to be a man. You just want to be able to travel around the world, jet set, drive fucking sports cars and fuck as many people and nobody judge you for it. You just want to be a fucking man. You want to be able to whoremonger. You want to be able to be immoral. You want to be able to do all the things that you think men get away with. But you just want to be able to do it. When I'm telling y'all, when it comes down to the average man, you know what they want? A wife and kids. A quiet home, a peaceful home, a home-cooked meal, their clothes fucking washed, be able to pay the bills and not stress at the end of the fucking month, to be able to take care of their family. That's what the average American man wants. But these feminists are so focused on the womanizers or the niggas that's rich or the single playboy that's, 55 and all this other shit. He got millions of dollars. That's not the reality for most men. But because of what the image they have in their mind about what a man is and male privilege, right? The patriarchy and all this other shit. The patriarchy is running into a burning building to save other people. The patriarchy is letting the women and children get on the life raft first. Patriarchy is making sure that your children and your wife eats first. Sacrifice. Dying. That's what the patriarchy is about. And because you don't give a fuck about none of that shit, you don't give a fuck about none of the sacrifices, you don't give a fuck about none of the building blocks, the foundational characteristics of a household, you don't give a fuck about that shit, so you don't give a fuck about that man's sacrifice to his family. And then what's even more fucked up is these men happily do it. Men happily take care of their family. Men happily sacrifice today for tomorrow. They happily go without so their family can go with. That's the patriarchy, motherfucker. I want y'all to know. When it came down to a motherfucker sexually assaulting a woman, men came together and lynched him. Men came together and tar and feathered him, sent him to jail, stripped him of his rights, took his land. Men did that because they understood power and responsibility. Yes, if I have all of these responsibilities on my motherfucking shoulder, you goddamn right I have power. You goddamn right I have some control. And that's an agreement that men and women have made before America even fucking existed. Hunter-gatherer shit. Early man and early woman came together. They were always supposed to be complementary. Shoulders and hips, my nigga. Shoulders and hips. That has been the agreement between man and woman for millennia. Millennia. It ain't some white patriarchy structure. That's not the fucking way this shit works. This is nature. You look at any other animal species, and don't get me with the bugs who are able to switch sexes. Don't sit there and try to tell me about the male lions who mount each other and shit out of recreation. No. Every last one of those male lions are going to get a lioness pregnant and have a pride of their own. Don't tell me about seahorse males being able to being the ones that give birth. That's the biological setup of that species. That's how this shit works. Male and female has always been like this from nature. This ain't got nothing to do with society. Period. So when it comes down to the way y'all view yourselves, you are no different than that white feminist who hates men. But like literally wouldn't be able to live without it. So while y'all over here acting like y'all are so pro-black and all that other shit, y'all really just want to be white. Y'all think white people live life on easy mode just by default and shit like that. And while there are going to be white people who do, I promise you that shit is not just doled out off the virtue of them being white. Because in the same breath, you motherfuckers, when I get to talking about poor white people and how fucked up poor white people's lives are and shit, that's when y'all tell me about capitalism and shit. That, you know, you're always going to need poor white people and all this other shit. So which one is it? Because how can I be a white supremacist and then subjugate white people for the greater good of myself and my family and my class of people? To where all of these different rich motherfuckers that's white don't give a fuck about the poor white man down at the bottom. See, I'll be more apt to have that conversation with you niggas than this white supremacy shit. And I don't give a fuck who comes in here. I don't give a fuck what you niggas believe. I truly don't. Because me not believing in that shit only helps me. Because I'm not walking around second guessing my greatness. I'm not walking around thinking that I can't do some shit because of some fucking boogeyman that I've created in my motherfucking mind. You niggas have debilitated yourselves from your own fucking thoughts and you don't even see it. You've demoralized yourself more than any white man has. There is no fucking way that you motherfuckers who have all of the luxuries in the world, because y'all talk about privilege and all of that shit, but how much more privileged are you, okay, than the ancestors? You have a supercomputer in your motherfucking pocket. What's your ancestors at? What did this man have? Huh? Look at the just in this snapshot. Look at his life. Look at the black man. Don't worry about the white man. Look at this black man. You are absolutely living better than him by default. But when you were born in the 21st century, you know, if you was born in around my era with the very late 20th century, Being born in the 21st fucking century with a supercomputer in your motherfucking pocket, high-speed internet access for free. Go to fucking McDonald's or Starbucks and get internet for free. You ain't even got to buy a fry or a frappe. All you got to do is sit in that motherfucker and learn some shit. Your ancestors literally had to kill to read and write, nigga. They had to kill somebody to read and write. And you motherfuckers take that shit for granted that you hop on the fucking timeline and spew bullshit all day. Yo, if the ancestors had this fucking technology back then, you know, son, they would have turned this shit into Wakanda for real. They would have wasted no fucking time developing and building off of the technology that we have now. There are websites, AI websites, that will literally just type in what the fuck you want to see, and they will create an entire website for you. An entire website. And I come from HTML coding. The MySpace days and all that other stuff, the overlayouts and all that other shit. I come from that, having to literally code MySpace pages. I used to charge a good, I made a lot of money doing that shit. But there was never an era in my life where I thought I couldn't do some shit by the virtue of me being black, and neither did these niggas. And y'all sit here in your comfy fucking cribs, central air, in the suburbs, safe, telling me about how fucked up your life is. Telling me how oppressed you are. You're a fucking joke. You're a fucking joke. You're not going to tell me that you living worse than a sharecropper in the early 20th century, late 19th century. You're not going to tell me that your life is that much worse than a former slave who didn't learn how to read until they were 40, nigga. Are you fucking dumb? Are you niggas high on fucking cocaine? You gotta be drunk. You niggas gotta be drunk to think that your life is worse than this man's life, and that motherfucker still woke up every fucking day and went to work, nigga. That nigga didn't sit around in his motherfucking house talking about the white man all fucking day. He would have died. He would have died. So while y'all niggas get to talking, you know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas get to talking about the past and how y'all frame the ancestors. Yo, they were nothing like you niggas. They were nothing like you niggas. They didn't sit there and complain about their fucking condition all day. They changed it. Do you not know how remarkable it is for somebody who was in bondage for the first 50 years of their life, 40 years of their life, 35 years of their life, to come out of that bondage and build a town? You niggas have been in the laps of luxury in comparison to the way these people live, and you ain't built shit. You ain't built a motherfucking thing. These people couldn't fucking read or write and built a town. You can read and write for the most part, and what the fuck have you built? What the fuck have you accomplished? In your years on this earth, what the fuck have you built, son? Who have you inspired? Who have you motivated? Who have you educated? Who have you fucking helped? Y'all niggas talk all of that pro-black shit, and then 90% of your motherfucking discretionary income goes to somebody that's not black. Y'all dancing with Don Julio bottles and shit on your motherfucking head. I was in a conversation, forgot where it was. I was having a conversation, and they were sitting there asking me about Charlie Kirk, in the black circles and shit. That's like the hot topic, and when you want to have your, intellectual masturbation and shit like that. These motherfuckers is unserious. They don't really give a fuck for real, but it's a topic. It's content. And they were talking about, white supremacy, of course. They were talking about all of that shit. And I'm just like, yo, how many of y'all have a black bank account? How many of y'all have a black bank account? And not only did they not have black bank accounts, one of them didn't even understand the concept of what the fuck I was even saying. And it's fine. I have no problem educating and inspiring, and I'm not disparaging them. But this is the seriousness of the illness. So while there are black banks right fucking now in America who are dying for your fucking money, literally begging y'all to open up accounts with them, you have the ability. One United Bank, the last time I checked, it costs $25 to open up an account. Y'all smoke that in a day. Y'all eat that in 10 minutes. Y'all order DoorDash, $50, $60, $100. No problem. Y'all throw money to crackers all day long. all day long. But when it comes down to a black American financial institution that's actually doing real estate development in neighborhoods, who's buying up real estate so they're the ones that's gentrifying and not displacing black Americans. They're going out of their way to service black American communities, suburbs, ghettos, rurals, country, wherever it is. They want to make sure that they're serving black Americans. And what the fuck do you niggas do? Ignore them. What about the black businesses that are on the stock market? Most of them are penny stocks, between $1 and $5 a share. You know what it would look like if just 10% of the black American population bought shares? 4.8 million out of 48 million. And everybody bought 100 shares. The shit is $1 to $5. You buy 100 shares. 4.8 million people buys 100 shares of these companies. They go up. Now that you operating at $20, $30, $50, $100 a share. You're rich just being able to put your money in these vehicles. And then you can hold these institutions accountable for the money that you're putting in their coffers and their deposit boxes. That's real power. But y'all worried about white power because you want to make sure that white power stays. You do. You absolutely do. You want to make sure that the white man stays ahead of you. You want to make sure the white man has his boot on your neck. The white man been ignoring you niggas for decades. Ignoring you. And you still gonna grab his fucking foot. You gonna grab his ankle and be like, nah, put it right here. So I can have something to fucking complain about. Yeah, fuck all of that black bank shit you talking about. Fuck all of that independent shit you talking about. Fuck all of the group economic shit you talking about, though. Fuck all of that, Hotep. That's that Hotep bullshit. We over here, we worried about white people. I want what they got. 400-year head start, right? Think about it like this. All you 400-year head start niggas, which is, I agree with. But for all you 400-year head start motherfuckers who believe, based upon that 400-year head start, that you can't build, what about the head start you had on him? What about the head start that you had on him? What about the 100-year head start that you had on this man right here? What about the advantages that you have over this man right fucking now in your lifetime? What about that? Same thing with the racial wealth gap. What about the racial wealth gap between rich niggas and poor niggas? Fuck white people altogether. Fuck every non-black person when it comes to that conversation. What about the wealth gap between rich niggas and poor niggas? Why are we not trying to close that gap? Because rich niggas are making more money than the average white person every year. If you making more than 80 grand, 70 grand a year, you made it. Congrats. You made it. You've closed the racial wealth gap. Congrats. This shit ain't hard, my nigga. But they have you so lost in the pimping about this racial wealth gap shit because it's to debilitate you. It's to demoralize you. It's to keep you still. It's to keep you fucked up in the head. And everything else will follow. So while you getting fatter and broker and dumber every fucking day, which is that's white supremacy, but you doing it on your own volition. That's why I call you niggas white supremacists. You niggas are the white supremacists. Y'all sitting there talking about Charlie Kirk, and y'all niggas be ushering in your own destruction via your behaviors, via your habits, via your beliefs, via your morals. You bringing about the destruction of black Americans. You. Not some random cracker in Utah. That was white on white shit. Shout out to all of the black people that say, yo, that was some white shit that ain't even got nothing to do with us. I respect that. But you niggas are actively ushering in your own destruction and you call it authentically black. Niggas is fat as fuck. That's killing niggas more than anything else. No gun in the world could outshoot cardiovascular disease in the black American community. But y'all, I don't see y'all niggas trying to ban canola oil or sugar or none of that shit. You cool with that shit. We make jokes about the auntie arms and all that other shit. She's dying. She's literally dying. Her cheeks is black. Her neck is black. All of that other shit. She's dying. She's slowly killing herself. You niggas make every excuse in the world for fucking black criminality, especially if they're your homeboys, especially if they're your homegirls. It's cool. But the minute a cracker say some shit about black criminality, oh, it's white supremacy all over again, nigga, what? You aiding and abetting degenerates. You aiding and abetting criminals. You put your criminality on Front Street. You record yourselves while you're committing these fucking crimes. You want people, I'm talking about the criminals, not, because if y'all niggas is criminals watching this shit, I mean, hopefully I'm inspiring you niggas to fucking put the guns down. And if you're going to use your gun, use it in self-defense or recreation. So if the criminals are watching, this message is for you niggas. You're bringing about your own fucking destruction. You're fucking yourself over. Y'all have been told and shown time and time again that white people at most are indifferent to your plight. At best, they're indifferent. At worst, they're aiding in your destruction. But for the most part, the average white American family is not thinking about your black ass. They got their own bills, mortgage, rent, all that other shit they need to pay. And I promise you, if you actually are tapped in or know any of these average white people, they dealing with that transgender shit in their home. The white men are dealing with the lack of respect because their wives don't respect them. Their children don't respect them. It's a lot of shit going on in the black, in the white American communities and shit. They are not worried about your black ass. So even if they hop on the timeline talking about, oh, black culture is degenerate, black culture is criminal, fuck them. I'm telling you that shit. There's a whole bunch of black Americans who are saying the same shit. You niggas is so worried about white people that, again, you're going to be okay with ushering in your own self-destruction. And then you look at niggas like me who literally does this shit for a living, who studies the ancestors for a living, and I'm reading books from 1870 where a black man fresh off the plantation becomes a doctor and says, you know what? Black Americans are responsible for their current state right now. He said that in the 1870s, nigga. Barely a decade after the abolition of slavery. It's always been self-accountability in our circles. That's what the ancestors stood on. Because who else gonna check us other than us? You niggas have turned everything that the ancestors built and created, killed and died for, and turned it into some white shit. You turn etiquette into some white shit. You turn civility into some white shit. You turn fucking following the laws as long as they're not unjust into some white shit. You turn all of the shit that the ancestors literally killed and died for into some white shit. Just to make you feel better about your low achieving ass. Just to make you feel better about not accomplishing shit. You got all that discretionary income for bullshit. Go look at your fucking your bank account and see how many dollars you done sent to DoorDash this year so far. You gonna spend it some more? How much did you spend? How many of your discretionary dollars went to empowering black people? There's not a neighborhood in this motherfucking country. There's not a fucking neighborhood at all in any of these in this country that it's a ghetto or anything like that, a school, anything like that in the ghetto that are not begging for volunteers, nigga. That they're not begging for your money and time. There is not a ghetto in this fucking country. There's not one black ghetto in this fucking country that couldn't use your motherfucking time. That couldn't use your motherfucking dollars. They need you niggas. What y'all niggas do? Bitching about shit that's going on online. Putting in no pain, putting in no work, not getting shit done, but running your motherfucking mouth. They're so fucking worried about white people. And you think that's called or being authentically black, unapologetically black, that you sitting there trying to browbeat and guilt crackers all day? And then you don't even do that to any ends. You ain't even getting no money off of that shit. At least my nigga HJ, he grifted off of that shit. He went to the Starbucks and was like, yo, listen, white people were supposed to be giving black people free Starbucks. That motherfucker at least got free Starbucks. Y'all niggas don't even, y'all do that shit for the vibe, nigga. Y'all do that shit for the love of the game. Y'all do that shit for the thrill. You get nothing done. What did I tell you niggas before? Y'all niggas is offended by everything and ashamed of nothing. Ashamed of fucking nothing. You niggas will literally Show yourselves as the most victimized, powerless, defenseless, stupid, feeble-ass niggas just so you can try to guilt white people. So you can get pity from white people. And that's the reason why I take so much offense when you try to pity the ancestors. The ancestors never wanted your fucking pity, nigga. Learn from them. Build on what the fuck they already left your black ass. But you so worried about white people. You're a clown. You're a coon. There is nobody in this world that can tell me I'm not pro-black. You fucking dumb? This is what pro-black actually looks and sounds like, fuck nigga. It ain't about making excuses. I say all of this shit because I love my people. All of it. I didn't even talk to the chat. I had to get this shit off. Because you niggas are disgraceful. You're bums. I don't believe you niggas. I don't. I think you all are a waste of fucking time. Shout out to all of the black Americans who actually try to make a difference every day. Shout out to the black Americans who are actually building, who are actually coming together, who is actually building communities for the greater good of black Americans. Shout out to the people who are making institutions, maintaining and sustaining institutions for the greater good of black America. Shout out to all of the black American business owners that employ people, okay, that are in charge of people's livelihoods via the paychecks that they pay out, via the payroll. Shout out to all of the teachers, the lawyers, the people who are actually fucking doing something. But all you niggas that sit on the motherfucking timeline and do nothing but complain and bitch, none of you niggas will get my respect. None of you niggas will get my respect. And I don't give a fuck who feels a type of way. I stand on it. I stand on it. Let's go to the chat, man. I know the chat is fucking blowing the fuck up. I know it's blowing the fuck up. I got 2 chats going. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube first. Wow. Damn, was I yapping for that long? All right, it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Salute. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Vincent. Yeah, we were smoking out that motherfucker. Miss Lisa, shout out to you. I definitely party. Knuckle Bruce says HotepCon was a movie. That's a fact. That's a fact. Robert Jones says Hotep Rob. How you doing? Glasgow, Coach Glasgow in the building. He says, what's good, Doobs? Wish I could have been there, HotepCon, and met y'all, man. Next year, bro. And we got the Grifties coming up, too. Yeah, man. Bring your ass on through. Love to have you. Vincent says you got to find your tribe. Absolutely. Crystal says, glad you had a great time at HotepCon. Gotta find a place where you can get replenished, where you give as much as you do. Yeah, man, that's a fact, man. Like, they poured so much into me at HotepCon, man. These people let me know and really put that fire in my belly for real to keep it going. It was a very inspirational weekend. I had a great time. Let's see. Miss Lisa says, where was the reunion? We was in Savannah. She says, I make banana pudding from scratch. All right. Okay. How dare I what, Crystal? I don't know what you mean. Volunteer association. Absolutely. Didn't need the government to tell me who to be friends with. I don't know why you niggas think you need it. Didn't need the government to tell me who to do business with. Don't understand why you niggas need that. Have absolutely flabbergasted. Don't know why you need it. Let's see. Gotta drop that info, Doobs. That's a fact. That's a fact. Crystal says they definitely got their own problems. Vincent says we hold each other accountable. Let's see. Vincent says all love, you earn the right, Doobs, based upon the work you do. African Mike, my youngin, said went crazy. So that's YouTube. Let's check Kick. Let's see. Oh man. There's even more over here. Jeez. Says 100% Doobs. I was trying to explain to my family why I was in Savannah. I said it was similar to how you said it. That's what's up. That's what's up. Kentucky Ike says Hotep twins. Let's see. He says, I declassified FBI said I don't drink, but green bottles and jungle juice have me extra good. That's a fact. The Heineken was flowing too. I didn't have no Heinekens. I didn't have no beer over the weekend. The Dizzy says, oh yeah, I know you was good and lit. That's a decent combo. A bunch of men of orders in the chat. That's what's up. Sammy says, that's a fact. That's how I see Hotep too, as a tribe. Absolutely. Willie Will says, this particular stream's intro is what I'm going to send to my sister. I think she can really get the Hotep idea a little better than I can explain. Hey, listen, man, send her through. You're all are welcome in Hotepistan. You know, you'll find your place here. You'll find your place here. Let's say. Knuckle Brew says, a rewarding experience. I learned so much and met so many powerful people at HotepCon. I'm trying to tell them, Knuckle, like we really had a blast, G. We really was going, like we was having an amazing time. Hunnits in the chat. Declassified said, only thing missing was the fire pit on the front porch of the hotel. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The fire pit would have been perfect. The fire pit would have been perfect. Willie Wood said, I mean, we had a lot of cigs burning. Yeah, they was talking about the trees. Cherry blossom and magnolias are pretty popular down south. Shout out to Sammy. Sammy says that's peak prohibition era for sure. Willie Wood asked me, how does one get mad at a thought? Because this is some 1984 shit, and wrongthink is at an all-time high when it comes to these people. The victimized people, the defenseless people, the weak-ass people, they are literally insulted by you not believing the things that they believe or thinking the things that they think. You feel me? They want you to subscribe to this bullshit so they can, you know, misery loves company. But so does success. You feel me? Success loves company. Like, success begets more success. Success loves companies just as much as misery does. It's up to you which one you want to choose, which road you're going to take. You know what I'm saying? Sammy says, sheesh, that was the time when whites and blacks worked together under the table as bootleggers. Listen, man, those men are sharecroppers. Okay? Those men are busting their motherfucking hump to take care of their respective families. More than likely, the fucking landlord is charging both of them 50% of their crop and 25 to 100% interest on loans. They're both getting fucked over. And I'm not going to sit here and act like every white person is an angel, because that'd be fucking dumb. And I'm not going to sit here and act like every white person is a racist either. I'm not that scary, bro. I'm not that afraid of white people. And I definitely don't even give a fuck about social racism. Y'all know I don't. How many times I say cracker on this stream? I don't care, bro. I don't care. If you were one of my white listeners or one of my white followers, and please believe there are white people in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't have time for that type of shit. If you're so offended by my rhetoric, just don't watch my shit. That's it. That's just how I give it up. Like, the type of shit that I be reading, you soft ass niggas would be clutching your pearls at the books that I read. I'm over here reading slave owner narratives. And these motherfuckers are not mincing words. It's N-word this, N-word that, lazy this, lazy that, good for nothing, idle, all of these words. They are getting their racism off. There is a white newspaper called The Caucasian World that was printed during the 19th and 20th century. Where they literally had N-word outrage. Like, that was like, you know how we had Jet Beauty of the Week? Every issue of this newspaper, they had N-word outrage on the front page to let you know the latest crime that a black man did or whatever the fuck racist shit that they trying to get off. I read that paper. I do. I'm not sitting here saying that I read it as much as I read the black newspapers, because there's hundreds of those. But yes, when it's time for me to do my research on the other side, I have to understand the other side. I don't have to agree with it, and that's your problem. That's your problem. Y'all need people to not only understand you, but agree with you. And that's why you a hoe. That's another reason why you a hoe. You can't just be, it's not good enough to be understood. Where a motherfucker could say, yo, listen, I know exactly what you're talking about. You believe this, and it'd be correct. You believe that, and they're interpreting everything that you're saying correctly. But then as soon as they say, however, I disagree with that, now it's, oh my God, how could you disagree with me? You're so wrong. You're so evil. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. You do know before Democrats was pandering to y'all black asses like Bill Clinton playing the fucking saxophone and shit like that, and Obama having a wicked fucking jump shot, that our ancestors had to vote between two openly racist motherfuckers? Openly racist. They had to vote for these men. You think they were sitting there like, damn, damn. Sad about that shit? No, man. What do you got for us? What policies you pushing? Fuck all of that shit. I don't give a fuck how you personally feel, dog. What the fucking policies? Why should we vote for you? That's what the ancestors were on. They didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. So when it comes down to social reform, social change and shit like that, yeah, you're going to have black Americans of all sorts. It's all sorts of black Americans. I'm not sitting here saying they were all monolithic. I can tell you this, though. The ancestral black American ethos didn't include crying like a bitch. I can tell you that. I can tell you that the ancestral black American ethos didn't include you crying like a hoe every fucking day. I can tell you for a fucking fact that the ancestral black American ethos had nothing to do with trying to change white people's minds about niggas. It wasn't ever about that. It was about black American self-development, black American achievement, black American progress, black American advancement. That's what the fuck they were on. If you white and you're fucking with it, come on down. If you're white and you're not fucking with it, stay the fuck out my way before we shoot you. Out of self-defense. That's what the black American ancestors was on. By and large. Did you have some hoe-ass niggas like you niggas back then? For sure. Unfortunately, per capita, it's a lot more to you niggas today than back then. Unfortunately, there's more hoe-ass niggas like you today than it was back then. That's the only difference. There's more you hoe-ass niggas. Let's get back to the chat. Let's see. The Dizzer says fact, like I tried to tell my homie. Hotep Memphis says fact. Shout out to Hotep Memphis. He was talking about when I was talking about the foxhole. talking about motherfuckers crying about the enemy. He said, but they're going to shoot back. Dead ass, bro. Man, I shoot you my fucking self, nigga. Dead ass. I ain't got no time for this shit, son. I ain't got no time for this shit. We in the fucking foxhole. You sitting there bitching, bro. Shut your hoe ass up. We at war, pussy. Did I say that? Shout out to the Dizzer for that. Sammy says totally agree. Ninjas got those seed oils out, they supplements, and get them T levels up and grow up here for sure. Yeah, get that shit up out your body. Punisher 514 says talk heavy. Declassified FBI with the Pepe torches. Hotep Ma'at. Excuse me. Dre Brown says Hotep Ma'at and build to the chat. Salute, bro. Salute. Sammy says, yeah, I made it. Gap closed. All is well with the world. See? These goofy ass motherfuckers, man. They sitting there worried about the wrong shit. They falling for the pimping. They falling for the fucking pitting. The pimping, excuse me. You feel me? The ancestors were nothing like you niggas, man. They were nothing like you hoe ass niggas. And that's why I appreciate history so much. Because listen, dealing with you modern day niggas, dealing with you new Negroes, okay? Dealing with you new Negresses. It's a hassle. Do you know how much work we're not getting done because of you niggas? Do you know how much easier? That's one thing I do agree with HJ on when it comes to he was talking about the past. It was much easier to be a black American among black Americans in the past. See, when you look at the past in the way through the lens of white people, it looks like hell. But if you actually look through the lens of your actual ancestors, you can see that, yo, community, unity, coming together, group economics, pooling resources, that shit, that skill was inherent in the ancestors. They couldn't wait to invest in some black shit. They couldn't wait to put their money behind some black shit. Oh, you a doctor? You finally graduated? Can't wait. Can't wait. My toddlers are gonna be going to you every motherfucking checkup. Oh, you got your dentist degree? Can't wait. We shopping with you. Any dental work that we need, we going to you. Oh, you finally open up your fucking haberdashery. We're going to get our clothes from you. You opened up the grocery store. Can't wait to put money in your motherfucking drawers. Pause. That was nothing to do. That was second nature to do. Because they understood, yo, we all we got. We all we got. But because you niggas have the privilege, and I said it, the fucking privilege of making friends with white people at a higher clip, being able to go on over to the white side of town and being able to use their resources and shit like that, go to their gyms, go to their schools, go to their universities, go to their stores, go to all these different places. You motherfuckers are fucking lazy. That wasn't even an option for the motherfucking ancestors, bro. That wasn't even an option. The option one is shopping with Jim. Option two is shopping with Rob. That's it. Got to make sure that I'm supporting all my guys. So we're going to go to Jim's Rib Shack this weekend, and the next week we'll go to Rob's Rib Shack or whatever. Having your cousins come in from Chicago or New York or whatever the fuck, you're going to stay at a black hotel. Y'all motherfuckers look at the Motorist Green Book, the Negro Motorist Green Book, as a problem. When they were like, well, listen, dog, like, you're black. We're black. We're going to show you the places where you can go and be accommodated without having to worry about shit. You niggas, okay? You niggas is beating down the door of white hotels. I'm telling y'all, if the ancestors were in these times, they would have turned this country into Wakanda. Wakanda. If the ancestors were in this time, they would have turned this country into Wakanda. And if you niggas were to live in the fucking late 19th century to the early or mid 20th century, you motherfuckers will be crying all day and get nothing done. Nothing done. That's guaranteed it. The stats prove it. The empirical data backs that claim up. If you put the ancestors in 2025, they're turning this country into Wakanda in 5 years flat. If we put you niggas and all your unapologetically blackness, all of your authentically blackness in 1920, I promise you, you're going to be some hoes. Y'all going to be the biggest hoes. Y'all going to be the biggest hoe ass niggas. The worst of the worst. I know that for a fact. So yeah, I told y'all. Y'all seen the title? Rants and recaps. That's all we doing tonight. I hit y'all with a whole hour of the HotepCon recap. Watch the first hour. Enjoy it. But the second and third hour is shitting on you new Negroes. Period. And I'll sprinkle in a little bit of the Black American politics, because I said that in the pin tweet and all of that. But y'all know what I'm going to say. We not even going to deep dive like that. We just going to keep it fucking simple, because we can save that for Wednesday. If you subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Hotep History, you'll be able to vote on the topics. You'll be able to vote on what topics I talk about. Today, there wasn't no choice, bitch. I was letting y'all know we not doing no topics today. The only topics we talking about is recapping and ranting. That's it. That's all we doing. Because I don't give a fuck about nothing else. I give a fuck about Hotep, and I give a fuck about shitting on you bum ass niggas. You feel me? That's it. That's all I care about to talk about tonight. So we at the 10 o'clock mark. I want 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I came back to YouTube. I know some people might be wondering why I came back to YouTube. First of all, it took me however long it took me to get to 990 subscribers and shit like that. But yeah, I want to make sure that the people that were following me on this joint still got tapped in and still got some info. So we streaming on both. We rocking on both. So let's get Hotep History to 1,000 subscribers tonight. That's the only thing I'm asking of y'all. That's the only thing I'm asking of y'all. Make sure that you are subscribing to Hotep History on YouTube. I need 10 people. Let's see. I need 10 people to subscribe to Hotep History on YouTube. And then I need all of y'all to subscribe on Kick. That's how we giving it up. That's how we doing it. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. Tonight was just ranting. Well, we got a whole bunch of stuff this week that we gonna get into. Let's see. What's topics? I'm looking at the whiteboard now, chat. So we did Cowboys, pause. We did politics, kinda. We only the way that shit. I ain't even realized that I did only half of the material, and we didn't get to everything. We did banking. We did Black American inventors and innovators. So in Black American cultural subgroups, that was a super dope episode. So next, the options are the Black American Church, Black American Arts, and the Black American and Jewish American relationship. That's going to be the three options. You can only vote on Patreon. You can only vote on Patreon. So while I appreciate if y'all in the chat wanting to vote in the chat, that's cool. But those are for the Patreon subscribers exclusively. You dig? So make sure that you are subscribing to patreon.com/Hotep History. It's a lot of great information on there. I got scripted content coming this week as well about Black American bankers. Shit that I know you've never heard about. Millions of dollars of Black American money. You feel me? Millions of dollars. But hell yeah, man. So Dre says, I blame it on integration. So listen, while I understand that premise, and for a long time, I held that same belief. It was like, yo, because of integration. Listen, man. While integration made it a thing to where now you have access to these white places and shit like that, I told y'all the ancestors didn't really give a fuck about that shit. But however, a lot of people don't realize that there were Black American business owners and stuff like that who was looking for economics outside of their circle. OPM, if you will, other people's money. And I think their approach I wouldn't have done, but we watched the Selling to the Negro, right? And I told y'all that was created by a black company, the Johnson Publishing Company, the same publishing company that created Ebony Magazine and Jet Magazine. They created that to be able to show white companies or non-black companies or companies in general how to sell to Black American consumers. Black people did that, or at least a black company did that. And I believe they did it because publications like Ebony and Jet were able to sell ad space to white companies. So they're like, well, I'm getting paid off of integration. Like, integration is helping me because I get to advertise white companies in my magazine now. Since the black people are able to spend their dollars there, white companies are paying me, dozens, hundreds, or thousands of dollars to be able to promote their business inside Ebony Magazine and Jet Magazine. So it shouldn't have gone as far as it did. And that's where I agree, right? I feel like it was a little extreme. I think niggas kind of overdid it when it came down to integration. But on the flip side of that, Dre, I will say you should not need to be forced to support your own. And that's one of my historical hot takes that I'll share on this one. I got a few more coming Saturday. Hotep History Podcast being hosted by none other than your boy, President Hotep Doobs and Hotep Mac, every Saturday on Spaces. And then, of course, it lives on Patreon exclusively, nowhere else. When it comes down to this hot take, though, is that Black Americans historically thrive when their back is against the wall, even if it's in concept. See, historically it was, right? When we're talking about society, when we're talking about racism and all this other shit, the energy was, yo, we all we got based upon the climate of our country. This is why I say when motherfuckers get to talking to me about history and shit, you'll never hear me deny the racism. You'll never hear me deny the discrimination. However, in the face of all of those things, they knew the solution to the problem wasn't sitting there trying to change these people's minds about them. It was about making sure that you change the minds of the people that you live around inside of your community, because you know strength is in numbers. You understand that strength starts up here first, then goes down here, and then manifests throughout the rest of your body. So when it comes down to Black Americans historically, the reason that Black Americans did what they did is because they knew nobody was coming to save them. They knew nobody was about to come and build a town for them. They knew nobody was going to come and build shelters and stores and all of that other shit. They knew the only aid that was coming was from other Black Americans. And that's the reason why when it comes down to unity, it was second fucking nature. Because your neighbor likely fed you this week. Your pastor more than likely donated you clothes. The fraternal order that your father is a member of and unfortunately died has been paying a stipend to your mother every week since he's been dead. And making sure that the lights stay on in that motherfucker. It was second nature to look out for one another. See, the thing is, when y'all get to talking about like words like N-word lover and all this other stuff, race traitor and all of that, Black Americans use these terms too. Now, of course, not N-word lover. However, being a race traitor basically meant that you were doing something bringing on the destruction. Like all of you niggas that be arguing with me, think I'm backward, think I'm a coon, the ancestors would spit on you niggas. The ancestors would spit on you niggas. They would not, if they said the things they said and you responded to them the way you respond to me, they would spit on you. If you sat there and told the Panthers that, oh yeah, I'm a communist, all of this other shit, however, I ask motherfuckers to, you know, make my my grocery list and pay for my groceries and shit, the motherfuckers would have shot you on the spot. You as a black communist in 2025 going up to the Black Panthers fat as fuck, they would have shot you. You understand me? Like the criteria to be a Black American, authentic Black American, unapologetically Black American back then, the requirements were way more stringent. Because they didn't have white friends at the same clip as we do. They were obviously able to make white friends. That was the whole fucking point of this thing that I was saying here. However, when it comes to preference, when it comes to the reality of the situation, they understood that, yo, if nobody is going to do anything, nobody's going to get anything done. If we don't get it done, nobody's going to get it done, rather. If we don't get it done, it's never going to happen. Your ancestors had to build, kill, and die for these things. I cannot stress this enough. None of the things that you take for granted, like you motherfuckers, you new blacks who go to Howard, you new blacks that go to Langston, you new blacks that go to Cheney, you feel me? All you new blacks that get to go to all of these black institutions and shit like that. Like, you know, black men had to build that institution, right? Black men had to literally, brick by brick, build the school that you are currently in. Fucking off. Getting degrees and bullshit. Like, y'all have no idea the foundation that these people set for you. You dance all over the foundation. All of the freedoms, all of the rights you have. All because of the ancestors. Every last one of them. You have done nothing. You have done nothing to secure any rights, to secure any property, to secure any of that shit. You didn't do any of it. All you did was be born in the late 20th century or early 21st century. That's it. You were born in the luxury. Compared to the ancestors, you were born rich. And you know they did 10 times more with 100 times less. And here you niggas go complaining of me of all fucking people. You think I give a fuck about your plight, nigga? You think I give a fuck about your plight when you log at least 6, 8, 10 hours every 2 days on a fucking video game? You think I give a fuck about your plight when you got more leisure time than work time? Your ancestors was working 16, 18-hour days for low pay. You bitching about PTO. Like, you niggas have absolutely no idea the systems that your ancestors created because you don't give a fuck about them. You give a fuck about what the white man told you about your ancestors. That's the reason why you walk around pitying them. But your ancestors had free healthcare. You know that? Your ancestors had free healthcare. And you know who provided that fucking healthcare? Your ancestors. Your ancestors provided your ancestors with free fucking healthcare. While you bitching to the federal government for free healthcare, your ancestors was already doing it over 100 years ago. You know why? Because they trusted each other. They actually fucked with each other. And it was way less niggas like you and way more niggas like me back then. Way more men willing to work. Way more women willing to work. Y'all have it so easy, y'all don't even y'all don't even get it. You motherfuckers are living in an era where you don't even have to see how your food is made. You don't even have to see the motherfucker who delivered it to you. All you have to do is push buttons on a device. That's what you're doing. You holding your device in your motherfucking hand, being like, I want some food right now. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. Touch your fucking device, put that shit down, then a little fucking cartoon car just tells you how close your fucking food is. And because you niggas is pussy and introverted, you wait till the motherfucker pull up, take the picture of the food, and then leaves. And all you gotta do is take the fucking food and that's it. Nothing. You ain't have to do nothing. Your ancestors had to grow food to eat it, nigga. Your ancestors had to sew clothes to wear them, nigga. Your ancestors had to build the house that they lived in. Nigga, do you not understand that? I was telling them that at HotepCon. I was saying this about you bum ass niggas. About the bum ass niggas, rather. How many of these bum ass niggas, if they just saw wilderness, how many of y'all could turn that wilderness into a town, and how long would it take you? Your ancestors had shit running in 30 days. Wilderness, nigga. Straight woods. No blueprints, no nothing. Just fucking woods. They had an entire town, at least the framework of an entire town built in 30 days. 30 days. And look what you niggas do in 2025. Oh, there's white people in a place that I'll probably never visit in my fucking life, building a settlement and then building a town. So racist. So white supremacy. Much racist. Ho ass nigga, that's what your ancestors was doing 100 years ago. 150 years ago. That's exactly what they would want you to do. But you know how much fucking... And even though y'all have all of the tools... Modern farming, modern town building with all of the John Deeres and all of the different machinery that we have at our disposal in 2025. Do you know that, the ancestors would have had a black town built in a week fucking around with the technology that we got? Look up the farming technology that we have now, son. Look up the cultivators. Look up the harvesters. Look up all of the different technology that exists in agriculture, in infrastructure building. Niggas is 3D printing concrete buildings. Yo, the ancestors would have literally lost it, bro. They would have been like, yo, wait, y'all can 3D print buildings? All y'all got to do is just fucking put it on a trajectory and it's going to build me an entire structure in hours or days? A whole building of concrete. You sure? Yeah, Unc. Yeah, yeah, OG. Yeah, that's the type of technology we got. And wait a minute, you can control all of this shit from a small little fucking, what's that? A phone in your pocket? Yeah, OG. This shit is crazy. This shit, you motherfuckers be making the Jetsons jokes, but we really living in the Jetsons times compared to what the ancestors was going through. You put an iPhone in the hand of a 35-year-old man that's from the year 1920, bro, I promise you he's going to run laps around Silicon Valley. He's going to run laps around Austin. He's going to run laps around you. Because all he's going to do is tinker all day. If you give him two phones, he's going to deconstruct the first phone and put that shit back together. And now he knows exactly how to build that motherfucker. Okay, we need this material. We need this. We need these. We need that. C.R. Patterson, first black man to invent an automobile. Or that motherfucker just all he needed. He did horses at first. Horse-drawn carriages. He seen that Ford, had the Model T, had the fucking conveyors and all that other shit. Was like, oh shit. That's possible? Bet. Not to mention all of the black inventors who without them, mad technology wouldn't fucking exist. That's why I tell you niggas, you standing on the shoulders of fucking giants, nigga. There wouldn't be any home security without a black woman and her husband. So your Ring camera, your all of that shit doesn't exist without a black woman and her husband. Patented in 1961, 1966. Literally invented closed circuit television. So all of the stores, businesses and shit that had the CCTV, a black woman. Didn't exist before her. But y'all niggas is sitting there telling me what you can't do every day. Let's check the chat. Willie says, that's an intelligent take. I honestly haven't heard someone say it so bluntly. You shouldn't have to be forced to support your own. That's a fact. Sammy says, hot tour on the woke black. Now, we know I get you just talking about spitting, but we know what the context of Hawk Tua is, Sam. Come on now. Pause. Dre says, it's because they've bought into the lie that we are all supposed to live together. I don't know what you mean by that. He says, those 3D buildings, the way they made it looks like soft serve ice cream. Yeah, that's a fact. So that's what I'm saying to y'all, son. Y'all never gonna fucking convince me that y'all are right and I'm wrong. I'm so right, I can't get no righter. I'm so on fucking point. I'm so on point. Y'all niggas couldn't ever convince me that I'm wrong. Nothing about what the fuck I'm saying is incorrect. I can guarantee you that shit. I'm not off base at all. I don't even need motherfuckers to agree with me because I know facts are facts, nigga. We are living in the Jetsons time compared to what the ancestors was dealing with. You know, the early settlers, like black American settlers in this country, had to deal with snakes. Like their cribs were made out of dirt, reinforced by dirt. Their floors were dirt. They had to deal with every bit of the terrain that they lived on. These are frontiersmen. These are pioneers. These are black American settlers. It's just plain, that's it, just miles of plains. That's it. And they got to deal with snakes. They got to deal with malaria. They got to deal with mad different shit. Not to mention the crackers they got to deal with. They doing all of this and achieving and building and doing all of this fire ass shit. And you niggas literally live in mansions compared to that shit. You live in the laps of luxury compared to that shit. You live like a fucking 13th century king. You do know that, right? That's why I see you don't really see too many obese black Americans or Americans, period, 100 years ago. You don't really see that because motherfuckers had to work all day. They was burning that fat they was burning calories all fucking day. This man was never going to be overweight. But niggas are in a position now to where you're literally living like King Henry VIII. You have digital servants serving you shit all day, every day. I know motherfuckers, yo, who don't cook at all, and they only DoorDash. That is some decadent ass shit. That's some shit that you would blow the ancestors' mind. So wait, you don't cook at all? So how you eat? They understand that restaurants exist, but dead ass, y'all, you go to the restaurant every night? That shit was it's like, dog. Y'all motherfuckers don't even know how to tell time on analog fucking clocks and shit. I want y'all to know that when we say shit like, yo, we losing recipes, that shit is real, my nigga. Some of those recipes is just common fucking sense. But you niggas are so fucking, adamant that you are not your ancestors and this ain't 1965 and all that other shit. You are a bum. You're a bum. I want you to know that from me to you, all of you. If you are not doing anything and complaining about everything, you are a bum. Effectively, literally, figuratively, you are a bum. You're a bum. I don't like any of you. I don't. And I couldn't wait to hop on live and insult you motherfuckers for an hour and a half. Because I knew that was going to happen. I knew I was going to do the first hour, talk about HotepCon, chop it up with the chat and all of that shit. But I knew I was going to spend an hour and a half shitting on you niggas. Just to let all of the new people that's watching, because we had a lot of new faces in here. A lot of people that, are remaining anonymous and all of that shit, which I appreciate. Come on through, chat when you're comfortable. Never going to force you guys to chat. Did we have any bots tonight? I don't remember seeing any bots. No, I don't remember seeing any bots. So that's good. I know that YouTube is they're gonna strike my my song at the beginning of the stream. That's why I only did one song today. That's why I only did one song. That's the only thing about being on YouTube. They don't let you be great with the music. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yo, make sure that you are reposting the stream and you're letting the people know that I'm here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Kick. I'm rarely late. It's usually 8 o'clock on the dot. The show is going to start with some Spitter. Wednesday, we definitely going to tap into his latest project, 9:15. So I just think that y'all have to understand that when it comes to Doobs, when it comes to El Presidente, if the ancestors weren't offended by that shit, I'm not offended by it. If the ancestors didn't believe in that shit, I'm not believing it. If the ancestors didn't co-sign that shit, I'm never co-signing it. The ancestors had it all figured out, and all we had to do was just modernize it. That's it. All we had to do was grab the baton, and what you niggas did, y'all threw the baton on the fucking ground and said, fuck you. That's what y'all niggas did. Fuck you, ancestors. That's what these niggas did. All you new Negroes, that's what y'all did. And I'll never respect you for it. I'll never forgive you for it either. You feel me? I'll never forgive y'all for that. Cliff is in the building. I was waiting for you, G. I was waiting for you, Cliff. I ain't say nothing. I've been quiet for the past 2.5 hours, bro. We was all in here waiting for you, Cliff. So, no, don't try to sneak in here all quiet. Nah, say what's up to Cliff, y'all. Welcome, finally, Cliff. Welcome. Welcome, brother. Finally. We can finally start the stream now because Cliff here. Yeah. We on you. Flashlight. I got to get a flashlight. Flashlight on Cliff. I know he busy building amazing homes in Houston and all that. But cheers, son. I'm telling y'all. I don't rock with. I do not rock with the bums, man. We'll never be the same. And listen, I understand that there's going to be a time in these streams where it kind of comes off that the ancestors were kind of monolithic and stuff like that. And I don't apologize for that. But it's not to say that every single last one of the ancestors thought like this. You feel me? It's the people that actually moved Black America forward thought like this. The people that were actually responsible for Black American advancement. The people who set the foundation for Black American progress and Black American advancement. They were not crybabies. Even the ones that I disagree with ideologically or politically, like W.E.B. Du Bois. Feel like he was a crybaby in certain instances, but the motherfucker at least uses intellect to give us sociology as it pertains to Black Americans, allowing me to be able to take his data and take his studies and be able to use it. You feel me? At least he did that. Y'all don't even do that. Y'all don't even do that. So when we get to talking about the Joseph H. Jacksons, the A.G. Gatstons, the Samuel B. Fullers, the S.D. Redmonds, when we get to talking about these men who hired countless Black Americans and some white Americans, when we talk about J.J. Benson, these are just names off the top of my head. Annie Turnbull Malone with the Poro College. These are real business owners, business builders, institution builders. They are the reason why we are here today. Booker T. Washington and all of them. Frederick Douglass. Like, there are men and women who, like, went and showed you motherfuckers the blueprint. The answer to Black American issues, first of all, lies in Black America. It lives and thrives in Black America first and foremost. Secondly, it's in the archives. Go to the fucking archives. Talk to your fucking ancestors or have them talk to you. That's what I did. Ancestors talk to me daily on an hourly basis. And then this is where I get so emboldened from. You feel me? This is how I get so hyped. This is not the white man hyping me up. This ain't some random white conservative with a Klan hat being like, yeah, dudes, you better get them. No. The ancestors is like, thank you, son. Thank you. That's what thank you for holding us down. Thank you for honoring our legacies. Because these little motherfuckers think we were just a bunch of bitches. I promise you, the testosterone levels was more than likely higher. The grip strength was more likely higher. There are so many things that the ancestors do way better than you, and you have all of the amenities of the 21st century. All of the creature comforts of the 21st century. Spirit Airlines exists, nigga. You niggas got Klarna. Y'all putting your fucking international goddamn trips on fucking Klarna, nigga. You've been paying off that Cabo trip for 3 years now, nigga. The ancestors ain't have such luck. I'm glad they didn't, because terrible financial decisions. But y'all literally be living in the laps of luxury compared to the ancestors and having the nerve to complain to me about oppression. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. I don't want to hear that shit. Do you know how fucking difficult it is to do what the ancestors did? This is why I say from 1865 to 1965 is the most historic run any demographic in the world has ever achieved. Black Americans smoked 1865 to 1965. That century is the epitome of Black American excellence. The epitome of it. And you niggas spit on it. Spit in its face. Well, fuck all of that. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't give a fuck about fucking building black towns. I don't give a fuck about group economics. I don't give a fuck about black banks. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit that the ancestors built. And you want me to respect you niggas. Y'all spit in the face of the ancestors and you want me to call you my nigga. I'm choosing a bunch of people who died over 100 years ago over you any single day of the week. I'm going to read their books before I listen to what the fuck comes out of your mouth. I'm going to watch their footage before I watch your shit. This is why I don't really keep up with the times when it comes to like current events, what's going on in the news. I don't give a fuck because y'all niggas is not following the blueprint of the ancestors. The ancestral Black American ethos, y'all niggas done lost the plot. Y'all done lost the plot. So there'll never come a time where I'm trying to break bread with any of you motherfuckers. I have no time. I found my tribe, and my tribe is continuously growing because I talk like this. And the motherfuckers who like to hear this shit, the motherfuckers who talk like this in their own life, they fuck with me. I don't give a fuck who don't fuck with me. Real niggas fuck with me, and I don't give a fuck who don't. Word to Wayne. And I'd be damned if I go out like Charlie Kirk. No disrespect, but I'm not going. Y'all know I'm not going. Y'all know I'm not going. So, like, when it comes down to that shit, bro, like, no, I'm never going to stop pushing this. I'm never going to stop pushing Hotep history. I'm never going to stop pushing what the ancestors actually wanted for us. They wanted the government to get the fuck out of our way because every time the government got involved, it fucked them over, and they don't trust them. I don't know why you niggas even trust them. What the government, I'm trying to figure out what the government has ever done for you niggas other than placate to your fucking feelings. And I guess feeling better while you're wallowing in shit and shit like that, living in fucking squalor, I guess that's better. The government made you feel good. They bent the knee for George Floyd. They pandering to your black ass every election cycle, telling you how fucking great and needed you are while busing in thousands and millions of illegal immigrants into this country every year. They keep pimping you, and you keep falling for the pimping, and it's going to be too late for you niggas. And all you had to do was read a couple old books. That's all you had to do. All you had to do to start your motherfucking journey was read a couple books that was published before your grandmother was born. That was it. That was it. And you would have been right on the right track. You would have understood what the fuck you needed to do as a black American. But instead, you've been listening to white people about black people your whole life. And now look at you. Now look at you, nigga. You've literally, essentially turned your own self-hatred into being authentically black. Ain't that crazy? But that's what the fuck happens when you get your history from your enemy and your ancestors' enemy. That's what happens. They trick you dumb motherfuckers into saying, hey, all of the shit that I'm supposed to respect about my ancestors, fuck all of that. And all of the shit that is supposed to be used as a lesson to defend myself, make sure it doesn't happen to me, that's what it means to be black. Being a second-class citizen is what it really means to be black. Being subjugated is what it really means to be black. When motherfuckers get to telling you about the black American experience and they lead with racism, you should already know these niggas is brainwashed and psyoped to hell. Because when I think about the black American experience, I think about ingenuity. I think about foundational fucking skills that people like need to survive. I think about infrastructure. I think about trades. I think about vocation, industry, professionalism, commercialism. I think of God. I think of community. I think of that first before I think about any white person. But do you know how fucking crazy it is when you hear the words black American experience, you immediately talk about white people? How? How often do you think your ancestors were interfacing with white people for real? In general. You think black people living in this black ass town who built a black ass school, who built black postal offices, and all these different things in a black ass town, how often do you think they were talking to white people? Before 1954, how many times do you think your ancestors interfaced with a white person? On average. They were not worried about white people all day, dog. Your ancestors was much smarter than that. They were much tougher than that. They were much stronger than that. They had more wherewithal than that. The only reason why you can keep white people on your mind the way you do is because of the luxury of what the fucking ancestors laid out for you. Because I can guarantee you, this man ain't have time to be worried about no motherfucking racism when he got probably like 12 kids at the crib who all need food, who all need clothes, who all need love, who all need support and protection. He has no fucking time to be worried about white people. And as far as the extent of him dealing with white people, let me get my guns. Let me show myself friendly if there's going to be a friendly white person. That's it. I'm going to defend myself if the time comes, and I'll be friendly when the time comes. But other than that, gotta hit the field. Gotta go to work. My wife and children need me. I don't know if you know any, productive black American men, but that's what productive black American men think today. They know racism exists. I just seen a picture of this nigga with a crudely drawn tattoo on his back of Trump and the American flag, talking about the Aryan president or some shit like that. You think I give a fuck, bro? I have to do my live stream at 8 o'clock. I have to feed my family. I don't give a fuck. Oh, yeah, speaking of, make sure, did we get to 1,000 subscribers? We got to get to 1,000 subscribers. Tell 10 of your friends right now to subscribe to Hotep History. That's an executive order. Hotep History needs to get to 1,000 subscribers tonight. For sure. For sure. But y'all gotta get a grip, yo. Y'all really gotta get a grip. This shit is fucking insane. Y'all are wasting time. Y'all are wasting time. And that is the reason why Hotep Nation exists. Because I was tired of wasting time with you niggas. My chat is filling up every new stream. I get more and more people in here. Spreading this Hotep gospel. I don't give a fuck who disagrees with me. I truly do not. I only give a fuck about the people who was fucking with me. Now listen, I ain't running from a debate at all. But let me let you know something. Let me let you know why, I'm damn near impervious to debate. Because what you would have to debate, as far as your position, logically, is that black Americans are inherently inferior. That is the only way you're going to be able to debate me, is that, you got to understand that we are, by virtue of us being black, inferior to everybody else. Yeah, I understand that Asians make more money than white people per capita and all the other shit, but still, we weak, we this. So, yeah, that's fine. You could come at me with that bullshit, but understand the audience is going to be looking at you sideways. They're going to be looking at you as the weirdo. Because there's never a time where y'all come into my stream where I'm not bigging up the ancestors and I'm not bigging up black Americans' ability to make any and everything happen. You have never heard me say anything that a black person couldn't do in this country. And that's including all of the racist shit, all of the discrimination, all of the oppression, all of that shit, excluding nothing. Excluding nothing. There will never be a time where you will be able to come to Hotep History stream and get excuses. Have a motherfucker feed you excuses as to why you can't win. There is no excuse. There is nothing stopping you from losing that weight. There's nothing stopping you from getting your bread up. There's nothing stopping you from literally creating the life that you want to live. Creating the world in which you want to live in. There is nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you is you. Your biggest op right now is yourself, is your mind, is your own self-doubt. That's who your biggest enemy is. And you have to beat that motherfucker. Beat that shit into submission. You can't be tough with me on the timeline and then you soft on yourself. You can't curse me out and then let your own doubt beat your ass. That don't add up. That don't add up. That math ain't mathing. There ain't no way you so goddamn tough with me online, but when it comes down to looking at yourself in the mirror, you ain't got shit to say. When it comes down to your own mental illness or your mental health, those things you struggle with, you ain't got no smoke for that though. You ain't got no smoke for your depression. You ain't got no smoke for your anxiety. You ain't got no smoke for all of the doubt that you have in yourself. You ain't got no smoke for that. You want to argue with me, try to take that bullshit out on me because I actually love myself. And I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that I'm transforming not only my body, my mind, my muscle, but my world into what I want to live it into. I'm doing that actively every day. Every day. So there is nothing you niggas can tell me. Period. Point blank. I stand firm in everything that I say and do. I mean what I say what I mean, and that's just what it is. You can either fuck with it, get down with Hotep Nation, get down with Hotep Doobs, or not. I'm not begging near one of you motherfuckers to fuck with me. That's how you get infiltrated. That's how you get infiltrated. I want to espouse as many extreme views as possible so you know So you know where I stand. Because all this open door policy motherfuckers be having, because they want friends. You know what I'm saying? Instead of strategy, they want fucking friends. That's how you get a William O'Neill. That's how you get somebody infiltrating your shit. That's how it happens. That's how you get infiltrated. When you sit there and worried about having as many people fucking with you than you actually fucking with yourself. And now your movement is full of people that you don't even fucking know. I'm at HotepCon every year shaking hands and kissing babies. There's little Hoteps that was babies the first time that I seen them. And now they running around as toddlers. I don't think you motherfuckers actually understand what it means to be part of a nation. To be part of something that's actually greater than yourself. You motherfuckers is bugged out. So, with that being said, I hope you sharing this, or if you shared it, I hope that you understand that all of this stuff is coming from a place of love. I hope y'all know that it's extremely important to adhere to solutions more than problems. Okay? And as always, you can't have the future without the present. And you can't have the present without the past. And we don't study history to live in the past, but to order our steps in the present so we can positively affect our future. That is why we are here. That is why Hotep History exists. I love you all, except all you bums. You stop being a bum, I love you. But I love you all. I want you to win. I want you to know that you have you possess the powers to win. You were born with the powers to win. The problem and the solution are born at the same time. I don't give a fuck what the problem is. The problem and the solution were born at the same time. Okay? I tell people this all of the time. If you fucking stub your toe, the problem is that you stub your toe and that shit hurts. The solution is you have to be either move the bed or move yourself. Make sure you keep an eye out. But the problem and the solution were born at the same time. Every single problem, every single solution. That's how life works. And once you understand that, you'll be just fine. So, if you heard something that you like, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're liking the video right now. Right now. Okay? Make sure that you are subscribing to all of the things. Okay? Patreon.com/Hotep History. Kick.com/Hotep History. YouTube. We're on YouTube and Kick right now. Make sure you're following the Instagram. Daily posts on Instagram. Daily posts on TikTok. Daily posting on Twitter. Okay? I appreciate you all coming through. Let me give my shout outs to all the people that was in the Chizat. We had a lot of people. So Dre Brown, thank you for coming through, bro. I don't know if you've come to a stream before, but shout out to you. Sammy, of course, Willie Will, Declassified FBI. Who else we got? Punisher 514, The Dizza, Hotep Memphis, Natty Smurf. Shout out to my brother Natty Smurf, Knuckle Brew. There's a lot of new names in here that I'm fucking with. So make sure that y'all return. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you got the notification bells on. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're streaming every one of those days at 8 p.m. And then on Saturdays at 12 p.m., me and my brother Hotep Mac are hosting the Hotep History podcast, okay? Where we get a lot of our hot takes off there. This Saturday's episode is going to be a doozy and is going to make people mad. But deal with it. Who else we got? Kentucky Ike, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming to HotepCon as well. Who else we got? Who else we got? Is that everybody? I want to make sure I'm giving all my flowers out for you guys. I always appreciate you guys stopping in. CW1394, thank you guys for tapping into the stream. You guys are always a great chat. Thank you for helping me out with identifying the tree. You guys are super dope. And with that being said, y'all, Hotep and Build.